Alright everyone, this is the VG Pierced, and I will be coming at you with the 2018 Blood Bowl 2 World Cup bracket seedings and predictions, all brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, Cyanide, and Focus Home, as well as Games Workshop. And with me joining here is going to be Jimmy Fantastic, the special guest. But currently he is making a cup of tea, and I forgot to tell him that we're starting, and so you have to forgive me. But we will be starting soon. We are making a couple of stand-ins for the last couple of stragglers, so let me have a moment to do that. And then we'll be good to go. We're still waiting on Parmenian to accept his ticket. He said he was going to accept it pretty soon. And then we need to get somebody to make Chubberon's team as well. So don't you guys go too far away. Satterfield, stay rock hard, baby. Yes, indeed. Let me update my Jimmy effing Fantastic. Let's do that. I'm gonna update my info. Sweet. All right, so bear with me as I try to find someone who can make a stand-in team here. Satterfield, you want to make a stand-in team? Chubberon's team?
Hello, VGP.
Hey, we're live right now. So say hello, Jimmy.
Glorious. Do you mind if I stream it as well?
Oh yeah, you want to do that? Sure.
Yeah, I could do, couldn't I? And then we might reach more people.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll start now. Right, here we go. It's on. I'll put you in the title. I just lazily copied your title.
Okay,
but,
sounds good.
I'm gonna put with VGP on it.
Let's see here. Oh, Satterfield is on the phone, not at home. Okay, so that's too bad.
Oh, have you done the draw? Is this the?
Not yet. No. This is just the preliminary, just so people can kind of see all the people at the moment. We cannot do the draw until Parmenian accepts it. So.
Right. These are the teams.
Right, and plus, right now, we are just allowing people to just get time to get in and, not miss out, right? I mean, usually it takes about, 15, 20 minutes for people to stroll on in, right?
That's true. That's very true. What I'm doing is BZL did a very good thing, with his extra arm spot, and he got everybody's win rating, and with the races they've got and everything. So like for example, Jimmy Fantastic has got a win rating of 70.4, and with Wood Elves it's 70.8. It's like he's got it with the overall win rate in Champs Ladder across PS4, Xbox. Well, I don't know if it's got Xbox across PS4 and PC, and then he's got it sorted by the race they're actually using in the World Cup as well. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is really cool. Awesome.
Yeah. What's interesting is there's 12 out of 64 have chosen Wood Elves. However, of the 14 people with a win percentage of 70 or more, 7 of them have chosen Wood Elves.
Are you sure your stats are correct? Because I was going over people's lists, and you guys had, I think, some things off, because I count 15 Wood Elves.
Wow.
Yeah, because I believe the people's lists that you guys made, because I could not share my list at all, right? Because I'm under obligations, right? So even though I knew your guys were off, I couldn't say anything.
We've got the one that Mercy Flush posted now, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so that's up to date, isn't it?
Mercy's list? Oh, the one that he put in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that should have been accurate.
Yeah, because Guinness had made a Wood Elf team, and I thought my God, Guinness isn't going lizard men, but he changed it to lizard men at the last second. And Sage had a Wood Elf team that he changed to undead at the last second.
Oh yeah, well he submitted after the cast. He submitted the team to me, so I knew he was going undead, and so I was like, what is this Wood Elf team that's sitting in here? But that's what I told people to do. I told people to put extra teams to throw people off, right? Like yourself, that's been snooping around.
Yeah, it's fair enough. But I mean, my snooping didn't matter. You know, I was always going Wood Elves. Like I made the team. You know, I kind of thought between Wood Elves, Humans, and Dark Elves were the only three that I considered really. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point. We could talk about that for a second. So you actually just considered the Humans and the Wood Elves to be the best two for this, and why is that? We'll give you a reasoning why, just in case people haven't really been following you or don't know what's going on.
Well, it's because, of course, the tier two thing aspect of it. The races being divided into tiers, and humans being tier 2 and Wood Elves getting tier 1. And not only that, but all the tier 1 teams only getting 4 skills means that, you know, it changes things around a bit, because normally, like at a NAF tournament, Lizardmen get 6 skills, Undead get 6 skills, Dwarves get 6 skills, Amazons get 6 skills. Now when they're only getting 4, they get a lot worse than Wood Elves get with 4 skills. So Wood Elves instantly leapt out as the best tier 1 team. They're already the best tier 1 team. But now they leapt out as even better tier 1 team. And then because all of the other tier 1 teams, particularly the Bash teams, are then starved of skills, it makes Humans being tier 2 instantly the best Bash team. So, because they get the extra, do you know what, I'm streaming this, right?
Yep.
And I've muted both of us because...
Oh no!
Oh, well, it doesn't matter, right? It's okay. My streamer's got voice on now, so that's good. After doing all of that, at least you've got it, VG.
Yeah, at least I got it, yes! No wonder people's been like, what's going on? Is Jimmy talking?
Yeah. So
good stuff. So let's start again. So Jimmy, you said that you like Humans and Wood Elves to dominate in the World Cup, and so go ahead, please let us know what that's all about.
Oh, you're such a pro, Jimmy. It doesn't matter. We've got it on yours. That's it. All that matters, you know. There's people watching you, so that's good.
Well, on my side, they would have heard that, so. You'll just be repeating it for whoever's on my video whenever I post it on YouTube.
Exactly. Best not to repeat it. But Dark Elves are an interesting one, because I think Dark Elves would be a bit weaker only starting with 4, because they either get 4 blodge or 3. How many do they get? 3 blodge and 1 dodge, or they get 4 blodge and 1 block. So like they're a bit weak to start with, but they're reliable. You know, they're super reliable, and they do get, you know, when they get their 2 guarders and blodge, they would become good later on. The thing is, you've got to win 2 games to get in the money, so it'd be pretty crap if you took a long-term team and then didn't get in the money and just went out in the first or second round. You'd feel like a complete dickhead, wouldn't you? If it was your choice to take the gamble, you know?
Right.
And then even if they get better at the end, I thought to myself, are they even better than Wood Elves?
Right.
You know, even if they do get that good. So I thought, so I quickly got rid of Dark Elves from them. And then so it was just between Wood Elves and Humans, because Humans for Bash and Wood Elves for Ball. I just think there's no point using anything else. Stuff like Lizards might come good when they get all the skills at the end, you know, like if they get the final, Wood Elves will be, Lizards will be good, Undead will be good, Dark Elves will be good. Any team will be good once it gets to the final, but I was just thinking the first few rounds, you know.
Right. For those that just was thinking about, okay, I don't want to go out first couple of rounds, certainly yes, Wood Elves are really great all throughout, it seems. And so that's actually one of the things that we had focused on as the admins who were kind of throwing in our 2 cents on the skills, we were just focusing on mainly those wood elves because we were saying, okay, we should give them 5 starting skills, right? But then people were like, oh no, that will make the wood elves really strong, and of course we'll get nothing but wood elves in there. So then we were saying, well, okay, tier 1 teams will get 4, but then if we group all these other people with these tier 1 skills, tier 1 teams with these skills, then they may not be able to be picked, like such as Chaos Dwarves or Bretonnians, maybe. So what do you think about how the World Cup is really set up with the skills after each round?
I think the skills after each round is fantastic, and not just because it's my name. I think that's really good because, especially as you can do it with admin tools. If there was talk of having to remake teams, which would have been horrific, but the fact that you can just do it with admin tools means that it's really good because like Blood Bowl is all about progression, isn't it? So it gives the kind of the feel of League Blood Bowl in Tournament Blood Bowl, and it also means that scumbags like Amazons will never have to play a game, will never get to play a game against somebody without tackle.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that follow, Blade. Yeah, and so, I mean, it's one of those things where, when you really just kind of look on the surface, you just think right away, your eye goes straight to wood elves and humans. But once over the course of the tournament goes along, then a whole bunch of these tier 1 teams, it's kind of what the Sage said during the World Cup cast, they just kind of slingshot ahead. So what is it, 14 skills to 12 skills by the end, and it's only 2 skills behind when you think about it for a tier 1 team. And now it's like, do you really want to be holding humans versus, say, a wood elf team by the end of the tournament? That's got to be scary.
Yeah, and it's particularly with humans, it's the other bash, isn't it? They start off, they've got like 5 guard, and orcs have probably got 3 guard. But then come the final, the orcs have got 8 guard, and the humans have got 7 max guard. So I think it's definitely. Oh, they could have 8 guard, couldn't they, all together? They could go 8 guard.
Thank you for that follow, Lil Whizbang. And of course, guys, on the screen is not the live drawing. This is, as you can see there, it is in alphabetical order, and so this is not the actual draw. We're just waiting for the last person to accept the ticket, which is Parmenion. So as soon as Parmenion gets in here, we'll be good to go. We're making a stand-in team right now for Chobaron's Skaven team, and then we'll be able to start. I don't want to start with the AIs if possible, and so I would rather get stand-ins. If there was maybe 10 people missing, then I would totally just be like, you know what, you guys can't listen to deadlines, you're all getting replaced, all of y'all are fired.
That'd be glorious.
That would be. But I think people who do know me as a tournament director and as someone who's admin, I do follow through my threats. So there we go.
Glorious.
Yes, indeed.
I think maybe like I think maybe if there'd been like a tier 1.5, might have been a good idea, or like, so have like the good teams as tier 1, and then make humans tier 3. And then have like a tier 2 with, Chorfs and stuff like that would be too strong with the extra double, but they aren't really going to get chosen when they've only got 4.
I think you're absolutely right. I think having a tier 1.5 or a 2.5 may be really good to get into teams such as like the Chaos Dwarves and the Vampires, right? I mean, that really would help them out.
Vampires should have been in tier 3, really. But tier 3 isn't even that good, is it? It's just an extra double, so it wouldn't have really helped Vampires being in tier 3. Or even Underworld. So I would have maybe put them both in tier 3 for what a difference it would make. But you could have had like 5 tiers or something.
But obviously, since I was talking to representatives from Focus, I didn't want to confuse them, so I said, when I had introduced the skills to them, they were like, what? What's this? And so when there was this big, great debate going on between all the admins saying, oh yeah, we want this, we want that, and this is probably better for this. I mean, they just kind of sit back and was like, okay, you guys debate, and then you tell us, what you think is good, and then at the end, I guess they had someone on their ends going, let's just take this out, because by the end it got a little bit more conservative, because originally I believe we were going to give 5 skills to the tier 1 and then 5 general skills and a double to the tier 2, but then it was reduced to 4 by then. That was not our decision, that was something on their end.
Right. Yeah. Ducky and Chowdksu and Drick talking there. Yeah, it's a lot of contention with the Wood Elf team, because you've got I can show it on my stream here. You've got Ducky's build. He's gone with a tree and an apple. Now I went with the tree and 2 rerolls plus leader, and then some people went with no tree and 2 rerolls and an apple, and it's really hard to call. Like, I think having no tree is better in the mirrors, because then you've got the rerolls and the apple. It's a really tough call, because at the end of the day, if you roll 1, you'd wish you had the reroll. If your dancer dies, you'd wish you had the apple. And you can't predict which one it's going to be, can you? And they're both going to screw you pretty bad. So
when you look at it here, okay, let's just take a look, right, at some of the more notable team names, like not team names, but the more notable people, right? So obviously Ducky went Wood Elf, you yourself also went Wood Elf, but let's talk about, like, say the Sage, right? Notably one of the people who knows a good bit about Blood Bowl, right? So what do you think about that pick, Undead?
I told him I didn't like it. I just think humans are better. If you think about it, if a mummy gets knocked out or cast, Undead are like a really, 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 really bad human team. So they need both mummies to be operating to even be compared to humans.
Right.
It'll pay off for him if he gets through the first few rounds, because the difference later on, the difference between 9 and 11 isn't as big as the difference between 4 and 6. Obviously, that's basic maths, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Percentage-wise.
But when you say that, I actually went and built a good bit of teams, and I did like how Undead, I was able to get an extra couple of zombies. I was able to get like a couple extra ghouls in there, maybe. I was actually very diverse with what I was able to kind of bring to the table. Sure, I was limited by 4 skills, but I mean, one has to say, right? I mean, you're gonna have a nice bench. You're gonna have regeneration, so you don't need to buy an APO, right? I mean, doesn't that sound good?
Yeah, it is definitely good not having a pineapple. The problem with Undead is you're at the mercy of being agility 3, and you don't have the skills that humans have, like, show hands, pass, catch. You don't have the movement that humans have. So, it's a tough thing. I really don't like it. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They are tier 1 in NAF events. They are second only to Wood Elf in dominance. But I just think getting 4 skills, I just really don't like. I don't like taking the risk early, basically. That was what I thought.
And if you're going to take a risk, you might as well have 4 agility by your side, yeah?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. At the end of the day, Wood Elves can I literally can't increase the volume of the microphone, which is disappointing, isn't it?
So what do you think about the Necromantic team? That's also a race in which gets the 5 general skills, gets the doubles, and they not only that start with basically their entire roster with 2 werewolves, and the werewolves with claw, right? I mean, you got to think with the meta. Okay, surely there's going to be wood elves. They may be a little bit tougher to stop, but the meta is half kind of humans leaning towards that way. So wouldn't you think that Necromantic team, hey, that might be a great team? Give us your thoughts.
Hey, yeah, I think I think they're a fine choice, but I don't like Necro. and I've never liked Necro.
Oh, so it's a personal choice then.
So personal choice where I discount. Also, Claw isn't so important due to the main rivals being humans and Wood Elves. There's not that much difference between 7 and 8, and obviously wasted against Wood Elves. And Strength 3 Frenzy's a bit of a double-edged sword. And I don't know. The thing is, humans start with all the block as well, don't the humans get like it's just basically humans being so good is what takes against all of the other choices. You know, they start with 4 block and everything. But yeah, Dark Elves will be good going into the later rounds when they got loads of blodges, as Ducky says.
Well, Jimmy, this is a time where we are getting closer to the bracket seeding. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly go over some of these teams here. We're not going to go over all of them because obviously 64, but we're going to just try to go over some of the more notable names out there. I mean, everyone here is a winner. Don't get me wrong, but it's just due to time constraints. This is the biggest reason why I don't want to go through every one of them. But hey, don't worry. You will have, hopefully, your time in the sun. I'm going to try to get as many games as possible. Parmini has accepted the ticket, so we can start at any moment. But let's just take a look at the teams here real quick. On the first page, Jimmy, if you're on your Blood Bowl client, just take a look here. Striker OD. Tell me, what do you think, sir?
Well, I did look at it. I know what this is. I looked at it before. Yeah, it is a death roll.
It is a death roller, and not only that, a dwarven team. So tell us a little bit what your thoughts on the death roller and the dwarves. Go ahead.
I think dwarves are all right if they get past the early rounds. I would have just taken 4 guard so they could fight humans. Block's a good shout though against Wood Elves, so maybe block and guard. Or 3 guard and a mighty blow. I don't know. I think I would want at least 3 guard. I would never, ever, ever,
never, ever. Well, there you have it, guys. Jimmy's thoughts was I would have never, ever done it. I love that. Well, I see the death roller, and I'm just thinking to myself, hey, he saw the human kind of meta and was like, I'm gonna go straight for those guys. So I think if it was me, I personally would not have chosen humans, only because a lot of things kind of just counter me, right? I mean, Wood Elves are naturally going to be taken, right? They're the other race that have a lot of, so that's going to be a little bit tough to stop as a human player. And then you gotta think, well, there are other teams out there that really crushes me, such as these dwarves, right? That could also be picked for the Wood Elf hate, but it also hates on the humans. Now, yes, granted, they will be able to outbash them a little bit, but people who brings death rollers to the table, it's like, come on.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, it's not that bad. Because he's still got 11 players, so you know he's unlikely to take Kaz or KOs, being armor 9 thick skull for the most part. So there's really a good chance of it, him not being down men. I mean, he's got 2 rerolls. No apothecary. It's not that expensive to have it with the extra 100k for the team. It's actually not that expensive. I don't actually hate it as much as I said actually. And if he gets if he wins the first game and gets a diving tackle on it, it becomes absolutely unbelievably good.
Well, or maybe even better yet, a block on death roller, right? I mean, whoo-hoo.
Yeah, but there's a guy I can't remember his name, but he plays tabletop. He's quite high rank, and he always takes the death roller, diving tackle on it when he can.
Oh yeah, okay, wow. All right, well, let's take a look at another team real quick though. We could talk for ages about this dwarf and death roll, but let's go on. Noru's high elf team, one of the few high elves in there. So this is another race here that will gain 5 skills, and then the doubles. Tell me what you think.
Well, this is my problem with it. He's got the guard on the catcher, which is armor 7 unprotected, and he can only give it block or dodge after the second game, because after the first game he's got another duel, hasn't he? Which will probably go to either the tackle mighty blow or the dodge catcher to have dodge guard. So I guess he'll end up with 2 dodge guarders. It's all right, but it's not Wood Elves.
Right? It's like, if you were gonna do this, man, why didn't you just pick the Wood Elves, right? Kind of that feeling, you know?
That's my opinion of High. To be fair, High Elves are more. They're not Dark Elves. They do get quite a lot more skills than Dark Elves, but you know, and they are faster than Dark Elves. But then if you take a lot of catchers, then you're more like a Wood Elf team. Wood Elves are just so good, and yeah.
All right, they're just so good. Okay, enough said. All right, let's just go to Ducky's team real quick. Wood Elf team, right? Ducky, one of the more notable coaches from the PC Cabal Vision Champions Cup, a winner of quite a number of teams there. So, what do you think of Ducky?
Yeah, the team is exactly the same as mine. Tackle, strip, tree, leader, block, catcher. So we've taken exactly the same build, exactly the same skills. The only thing is, he's gone for a reroll and an apothecary, and I've gone for 2 rerolls.
Right.
And yeah, that's essentially one of the 3 ways you can. 3 ways you can build. You can go reroll apo, 2 rerolls, or drop the tree and go 2 rerolls. And it's safe. It's safer to have the apothecary, but he does. You know, he's going to have to play very conservative. Only 2 rerolls because of the leader. And when one of the rerolls is a leader, so if that leader, he can protect his leader a lot more. So when you've got 3, when you've got 2 plus a leader, you can use 1 reroll quite early and then not care so much about your throw. Ducky's going to have to, you know, not use 1 early because he's only got 2 and protect his thrower quite, you know, a decent amount. So it's going to be more challenging to not have the second reroll. But then, of course, he's got the reward of, if he randomly gets a War Dancer cast or out, he can get him back. And
I'll tell you what, Jimmy, you're making my job so easy because you're just saying everything I was gonna say. And so, you know, that's precisely the reason why I want you on here, because you're so knowledgeable. I mean, you're definitely one of those guys that, I've said it once before, I've said it before, you know, it's just, I mean, if you guys want to learn something about Blood Bowl, Jimmy, you know, you're the man to go to. Obviously, you know, you're a man that's, you know, you got to grow to love, but I mean, once you do, it's just like, wow, you are definitely quite knowledgeable and quite good at this game here. So, kudos to this man here. All right, let's go ahead. Enough of this sucking up. Let's go on and let's take a look here. The only Norse team here, the True Blue, nips out for Nuffle. What do you think of the Norse?
Only 1 Norse team.
Yep, that's only 1.
I don't know where he is.
He is the True Blue. Nips out for Nuffle.
Is he on the front page? I can't find
second page for me? I don't know. It may have mixed it for you. I'm not sure.
Oh, yes, I found it.
Okay, great.
Nips out for Nuffle. Right, so objectively, it's got a Mighty Blow Tackler with Frenzy, a Block Ulf, a Dodge Runner, 13 guys, 2 rerolls at all. It's not so bad, but it's not humans.
It's not humans.
And,
but I mean, look, they start with block for everybody, right? Hey, we got block guys, and we got elf learners with 4 strength, right? Hey, no?
Yeah, they do have a lot of block. You know, they've got that going for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need guard. I would have picked some guard there probably. I say probably. I would have probably picked 4 guard.
It looks like though he went for a bit of a Mighty Blow tackle situation there, and then Blodge for the runner, so for the ball carrying. But I think perhaps would have been a little bit better off, like you said, with the humans, where you could maybe get someone here with a little bit more guard, and you can start with the ogre. And here, the Yeti is kind of missing from the picture here.
Yeah. Yeti. I would have had the Claw Mighty Blow Yeti as well. Yeah, probably running 3 guards and Claw Mighty Blow Yeti. Could give him blocker piling on then as well. Yeti, just go all in on the Yeti, see if we roll dice. I mean, that to me, that's the reason to go Norse, just to get a Yeti and do dumb things with it. But the True Blue, I believe he was the rebel qualifier, wasn't he?
He was, I believe so.
Yeah, so that's good for him that he's there. So yeah, it's cool, isn't it? But I think he maybe should have gone humans, just because this team, every Bash team, I'm like, just humans are better, though, man.
Right. Well, I mean, you can't fault him for going with a team that starts with block. And the nice thing is that once you're able to put some more skills on them, and if they do make it more to the finals, then they'll look pretty good, right? They'll look pretty solid.
Oh yeah, and he'll you can do fine against any team. It's not like there's a huge between teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like any team could win it. Even the Death Row, any single
any
team
of these teams will win it. And that's what you said before, even in the Discord chat, where you said, well, the way that the single elimination World Cup stands, anyone could win it, really.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here at Stringer Bell's team here. He's a notable North American coach. In my opinion, one of the best. There's a few out there that are good, but he really stands out in my mind all the time. So what do you think of this team here, Necromantic?
I actually had a test against, I believe, this exact team, more or less. It was more or less this exact team. Wolfbark was piloting it with a wrestle werewolf and a block mighty blow on. Mm-hmm. It does get better the more skills it gets. It's a bit skill light at first, despite having 6. Just because, I hate to say it, but the human team start with and 2 dodge and a strength 5 guy. They're already so they're starting. They're all starting with loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Although these guys are getting lots of skills, they're not starting with lots of skills. So I would have liked to have seen more than one guard. I think you're starting with the double, so you've got to take a block mighty blow werewolf. I guess you could just go mighty blow and take part.
Right.
That's really risky, and you really don't want to make strength 3 frenzy blocks without block or wrestle. So I think you've almost got the skill now, which leaves you really bare for everything else. And I just think they're a bit ropey the first few rounds, but if they get through it and they get guard on the fleshies, guard on the whites, mighty blow on both rules. Only one rule. I would have had 2 rules for sure.
For sure.
I don't know what you would have had to change.
Well, I mean, the nice thing though, right? I mean, the Necromantic team, like I have said it earlier in the show, but I mean, the nice thing about the Necromantic team, they can get a lot of extra guys, right? Just in case you get bashed down, you can get a couple of zombies extra, and then not only that, the Necromancer, right? I mean, you don't have to worry about the APO.
Yeah, it is good. You kind of like save a bit of money by not having, but then you pay it by. You're paying over the odds massively for the flesh goblins, really, and even the zombies should be cheaper. Right, they're really bad. Although they're cheap and survivable, they're really bad, aren't they? For -2 movement and -1 agility for 10k, that's a huge penalty when you compare them to a human lineman. So,
yeah.
and that's what I don't like about them. They really are at the mercy of the dice. If they lose, they've only got 5 agility 3 players. If they lose 1 or 2 of those, they really struggle, and it's easy to lose them.
All right, let's take a look at Philidius, right? I mean, the guy who's kind of broke the World Cup a little bit. Qualified for 3-4 tickets. What's going on here? Lizard Man team. So we haven't talked about the Lizard Man team. We're gonna see another one a little bit later on, but what do you think of Lizard Man in general and Philidius?
Well, was it 3 North American leagues?
I don't know. I think Philidius, one of them was a Rebo ticket, I think.
No.
And then I'm not sure about it. I mean, I have to look at it up again.
I know one was New Ogden, which I believe that's an American league. I don't want to offend anybody, like certain console.
You offend? What are you talking about?
Certain console people think that I've offended. I'm out there. I hate consoles. If I say anything about North American coaches maybe not being the same strength in depth, shall we say, as European, then maybe I'd offend them. I do think maybe the American qualifiers were weaker than the European qualifiers, but still to win 3 out of 3, he obviously knows what he's doing.
Right.
He's pretty lucky.
He's pretty lucky.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck involved. There's a lot of luck involved. I wouldn't show the 3 weeks that I was in.
I will not doubt you on that.
Yeah, look, I won 2 out of the 3 leagues that the qualifiers I entered. I won 2 out of 3, qualified 2 out of 3, and I was really lucky in 2 of them and lucky in 1. So, you've got to be a bit lucky to qualify. Simple. You're not going to get unlucky and qualify basically.
Yeah.
But 3 blocking and guard is fine. I can see why you wanted some guard. The usual NAF standard is like 5 block Saurus and a guard of Crocs, or 6 block Saurus. So I'm a bit surprised that he went guard on a Saurus rather than guard on the Crocs, especially as you can stack on the Crocs, making him guard would be even better.
Oh yeah.
But I guess, oh no, you're not going to take doubles on him. Your doubles are going on the Skinks for block your hands. So a little bit surprised it's not guard on the Crocs and then 3 block, or just 4.
But otherwise, a pretty solid crew there. So, but what do you think of Lizardmen in general?
They're all right. they're still good, but starting with 2 or 3 less blocks than they normally would, it is going to be tougher than the first round, especially the first round. If they get Wood Elves, they're going to struggle. After that, they will catch up to the other teams for sure, especially humans will catch up too.
Well, what about the
I'm
no Apo situation?
I'm really surprised he went to Skink instead of an Apple, because he could have one early KO Saurus or Crocs would be much more value than having a reserve Skink, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a bit surprised about that.
Sorry about that. You were just about to say it. All right. Yep. So he went with the extra Skink and new Apo. So yeah, that's we'll see how that's gonna work out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go ahead. Okay, and let's take a look here at Spartaco's team, the Wood Elf team. I mean, it's going to be a real quick one because I don't think he's a little bit more deviated from what you said before. But Spartaco, let's just talk about the man himself. What do you think? He's back, and he's playing Wood Elves. What do you think of his chances?
Well, he's obviously got a good chance of the same roster as myself and Ducky, and he's gone 2 rerolls the same as me, but he has gone wrestle on a lineman instead of block catcher, which is a fine choice. It's really hard. You can wrestle, block, and dodge on the linos, and all 3 of them are good. And I went block on the catcher so I can have a blodge garder.
Right.
After the first round, so it's obviously a bit of a risk for the first round. Maybe he's a wrestle lineman be better than a block catcher round 1, maybe, but still close. But then I think definitely having guard on a blodger is better than having guard on a dodger and then a wrestler. So yeah, he's been number 1 in NAF tabletop before in the world. So yeah, he's obviously good. I thought he was the best player in the first World Cup. But when he played Guinness, he was pretty unlucky. And now this isn't a slight in Guinness at all. If somebody else if he'd been that unlucky against somebody else, he would have still won.
Right.
But Guinness was good enough that when he was unlucky, he lost.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely one of those teams in which you would have thought that perhaps it would have been one-sided, but it was a best of 3, right? So, I mean, Guinness did earn it.
No, yeah, it's nothing Guinness whatsoever. Oh yeah, he went frenzy instead of tackle. That's a common thing.
Oh yeah.
End zone on fumble. He likes frenzy on the dancer. I like it, but I also like having control of my dancer. So, and I think especially when you pair it with Mighty Blow in this format, I think it becomes better. He might go Juggernaut. He might be thinking for Juggernaut.
Okay, so let's go ahead since let's see here. There's so many Wood Elves. I'm trying not to pick the Wood Elves and humans so much because we've already beaten it to death a little bit. But let's just go ahead and take a look at another favorite of the tournament. And personal feelings aside, I know some things are going on, but let's put that aside and let's talk about Andy Davo's Dark Elf team on page 6. Yes, wow. Indeed. So obviously, people know that I like Andy Davo's playstyle. He's got great Blood Bowl sense. He's definitely earned his way as well. Number 2 player in the NAF scene with the Dark Elf team, and of course, he's going to pick it here today. So let's talk a little bit about Dark Elves and, you know, just professionally speaking, Andy Davo, Blood Bowl game.
Yeah, they're good. They're good if they if they survive the early round. They're a good choice. They're just a little bit. They're just a little bit poor the first rounds, and they're still not poor. Like they're still good the first round. They're not. They're not bad. It's just they're a little bit lacking of. So if he wins obviously he's the kind of person who thinks he's the best player in the world by a mile. And he only ever loses because he's the most. In fact, even when he wins, he thinks he's the most unlucky person in the world. When he's out bashing orcs with Dark Elves, he thinks he's the unluckiest man in the world. So he thinks he's far and away better than everyone else. So he thinks he'll win the first few games, and then they'll become.
Isn't that always true of the best players in the world in anything, right? Even in chess, right? I mean, like say like Bobby Fischer, right? I mean, he thought he was the best player in the world by a mile, and you know even all these other great.
He was not the best player in the world by a mile, but no, it's quite the opposite actually. I think in Blood Bowl.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
think
what they thought,
like
right?
myself and Jelio, whenever we do something wrong, we think, what could I have done better?
Right.
And Andy Davo just tends to blame the dice. But there you go. Anyway, ignoring that, I do think he's he thinks he's going to win the first 2 games, whatever happens. And if I thought that way, if I thought I was definitely going to get the final, then I would think about going Wood Elves. But even then, they're not clearly better than Dark. Well, whatever. I don't think Dark Elves are just better than Wood Elves after 6 games. So it's not like they're definitely better. He just likes them. So
no, yeah, definitely. I don't blame the man. I love Dark Elves as well, and I even said it on air. I was saying, look, if I was playing the World Cup, I would have probably gone Dark Elf. But after playing with all the teams in the last few days, I actually would have picked the Skaven team because I just like playing these kind of quick Skaven teams, 4 gutter runners, just load up the skills on those guys and just let them fly. But I mean, Dark Elves, they're gonna have the runner. No need to really worry about sure hands, right? Strip ball. I mean,
yeah,
just
they're a good counter to. They are a good counter to. And obviously, new people are going to be taking Wood Elves. They're not so good in round 1 or 2 or maybe 3 against humans, but eventually once they got 2 guard and they've got loads of blowjob, they'll be hard for the humans to handle. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and like they don't need to do anything crazy to win. They can 1-0 grind people without really any effort. They can just dodge everyone away and go on the banks of the elf screen. And they're not really. You don't have to go high risk with them or anything.
Okay, so enough about Andy Davo. Let's talk about the only Chaos Dwarf team, also on page 6, Tor 3005. What do you think here? Did you think you would see the day after watching Crucifer fail horribly in the first round, the Invitational? And here you see it again. A Minotaur with a couple of Bull Centaurs. It's gonna be rough, yeah? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, break tackle show hands, so he's got. I mean, that's pretty decent against the War Dancers, isn't it? He'll be able to, if he picks it up, they can't strip him, and they'll be uphilling him whatever happens. The other one, block, probably will go break tackle at some point. 1 guard, which is more than Crucifer managed on his team, so it's probably a better team than Crucifer's. Only 11. The minor, I think, is kind of necessary to get that bit of strength against like the bash teams. 2 rerolls and an apples light. I just think it's a really bad format for Chorfs. I'm not surprised to only see 1. I mean, in a way, I'm surprised to see 1. I think it's a very poor format for Chorfs. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely it is, and that's kind of why I was saying before. Tier 1.5 probably should have been considered for this format, but again, we were trying to keep it simple for, the talking heads up top, and so Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, guys, that's how it's going to be. But maybe we'll have a little bit of a change, maybe if there's another World Cup in the next couple of years. I don't know. So let's just finish off here with, I forget which team is it I want to take a look at here. Oh, let's take a look at here at Jimmy Fantastic's Wood Elf team. I know you kind of covered it many a times over, but
yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you just why don't you tell us what you think about this man, just professionally, and just.
Oh, he's definitely the most honest and the most honest streamer. We're probably tied with VGP for the most honest streamer.
Oh,
actually.
yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He always tells it how it is. If it might ruffle some feathers, just a standard Wood Elf team. I did think of the second game getting guard, and that's why I went block catcher, which normally I would have gone a dodge line or a line. Okay. But I was thinking of winning my first game and getting block guard. We could look at Guinness, seeing he's the champ.
Yeah, let's take a look at Guinness, though. I was going to get to him in just a second. He is the 2016 World Cup, and he's back again. Guinness. And he's doing it with the Lizard team. And you know what? A couple of years ago, the meta was, hey, let's go Dwarves, guys, because we have to start with fresh team value. And, of course, Dwarves. And also, not only that, but the semifinals and the grand finals, they were best of 3. So you figure armor value 9, lots of tackle, lots of mighty blow, sure. Well, not mighty blow, but you're just able to just dominate just about anything, right? But then Lizard team came along from Guinness and not only just won, but won in a big way. What do you think of this Guinness professionally? Let's talk about that, and let's talk about the Lizard team again in this format. Jimmy.
Yeah, I think he's done an interesting thing of utilising game 1. Not many people stacked in game 1. The obvious one is Werewolves of Block Mighty Blow, and he's done something with this team that you can't do in tabletop. You will tabletop NAF events usually, which is stacking and getting tackle on the team. They normally just go 6 block, and they are going to get more skills as the tournament goes on. So he will get eventually 6 block Saurus and a block skink as well, presumably. So I kind of like that he's got the block tackle, because they do struggle against Amazons horribly. They struggle against Wood Elves. So now he's going to get a block tackler to put people down, 75% of the time with consistency. And 3 riddles I prefer to the reserve. So yeah, I think it's a fine chance. He is obviously somewhat at the mercy of 1 in 9s with players, right. But I can see the merit of going the block tackle for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well then, obviously, I think Guinness, last time I rooted for him the entire way, and to me, I just felt like he was gonna win the whole thing. I knew that there were some players that were stronger, maybe even more solid than he was, but I felt like his game was just enough crazy with a mix of just enough solid to get that going. And I'm really excited to have him back here today, because having him come back, and not only that, I actually had asked the tournament directors, hey, can we just give Guinness a ticket straight up just to defend his title? And they were like, no, he needs to earn it. And you know what? He's absolutely earned it, and he's back. And I think what he really wants to do is make sure that everyone knows that, look, the first time wasn't a fluke. North America, we're bringing it back. Certainly some people may say North American strength not as good. Maybe yourself too, Jimmy, but there still are great players coming out of here, right?
Oh, I didn't say there weren't good players there. It's just strength and depth, isn't it? That's the same.
It's a depth.
It's not that console players are worse. It's just that there's just not as many of them, isn't there? That's all it is. It's simple as that. It's just literally as simple as that.
Indeed.
So like for every, what is there? Drick, Durun, Bernie,
Arzoane,
Blade,
Chelsea Zola.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Gnome Slayer.
But then there's like 20 like that on PC, isn't there? So it's not saying they're worse. There's just less of them. It's not being nasty, is it?
No, it's definitely true. I mean, I will say that much, is that when you look at the North American strength in general, right? I mean, like, let's say it's a war. You take out the front line people, and the reserves just has no chance, right? I mean, who's going to bring up the line? Nobody. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, when you think the PC coaches that haven't qualified, like, Shawnee, and well, just straight away the invitation itself, 5 from PC and 3 from console. Even kind of 2 from console and 5 from PC. And while it was the 2 from console qualified, there was just more from PC, wasn't there? Doesn't mean they were better.
Indeed. All right. Well, then we are getting to that time in the show. We are about to hit the start competition. Before I hit this, right? Okay. Before I hit this, Jimmy, is there any team that you looked at, any coach that you do not want to be paired with?
The striker OD and his
Striker OD. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. He's afraid of the USA.
I don't want anyone who's good. Anyone with a win percentage of 70% on Champs Ladder, or even 60% on Champs Ladder. Right. What I want is somebody who's really, really bad, and they've just got they've been the luckiest person in the world ever to qualify for. That's what I want.
World Cup hype coming up, guys. Oh, sorry, Striker. Try not to spam the chat too much. Oh man. Alright guys, this is it. Start competition. I'm not gonna nub it up and accidentally not, pair it up. That would kinda suck. So here we go, guys. To start it off, we're gonna start off with Jimmy's team because he's in the chat channel, and so I'm sure he's gonna go straight away to it. So let's just check out Jimmy's team real quick. What's your team name again, Jimmy? It's coming home, right?
Blood Bowl's coming home.
Blood Bowl's coming home. So after we do that, then we're just going to take a look at each of the matchups real quick and just kind of give us quick thoughts, and then we'll end it, guys. All right, so starting competition. Do you want to create automatic seeding of the teams? Yes, I do. Here we go, guys. For the 2018 World Cup, we are having at it. Here we go, guys. Oh, boy. Oh, yes, indeed. And I'm going to get a signal, too, because I put it in a proxies team. But, let's see. I'm looking for your team, Jimmy.
Worst possible matchup.
Let's see.
Worst possible matchup. Even worse than Death Roll. It's non-Death Roll.
Blood Bowl's coming home, taking on WC Guardians of Ashigal. And it is going to be Ashigal's team. Whoa, Ashigal. Let's see here. Where's he at? Let's check out that matchup. Now, we know that Jimmy's Fantastic has a Wood Elf team, and he kind of doesn't want to go against likely a bash team like dwarves and things like that. That would kind of suck. But luckily it's a resurrection tournament,
yeah? But it's not going to help me in the game. It's the only team that Wood Elves don't have a winning record against in NAF style tournaments. It was literally the worst possible matchup.
Ashigal, yes. It is a dwarven team. Oh boy, that's a tough matchup. 3 guard and loads of tackle. How you feeling? Jimmy? Give us your first thoughts.
Feels bad, man. I've got a very good chance of going out first round.
Oh no.
The good thing is, if I don't go out first round and I get half my team killed, at least I'll get them all back for the second game. Like if it was last World Cup, I would have been completely screwed. Because even if I'd won, I would have been through.
Yeah, you would have been half your team, and then now what, right?
Yeah. So nowhere near as bad as it could have been. At least the format is res. The problem here is I've got the coaches' names, but I haven't got the team names.
Yeah.
So
let me. I'm actually gonna fix my challenge and then see if I can get that going there. But let's just talk about the first matchup there, Drix Assassins and Zeitgeist. Just kind of go down the list. So go ahead and take a look there. Drix Assassins and Zeitgeist. So Drick is going to be from the PS4. Let me get to the participants here.
Oh, that's Stringer Bell. Oh, that's a big match, isn't it?
That's a big matchup right there. Drix Assassins versus Stringer Bell.
Yeah.
And as I said before, one of the notable North American coaches, Stringer Bell.
Stringer Bell, very good. 67% win rate in Champs Ladder. And Drick has a 71% win rate in Champs Ladder. So, they've
Thank
got that going
follow. Vucifer.
It's good, that, isn't it? It's good that I've got my BZL in.
Yeah. And I'm fixing up the challenge right now, guys. So just bear with. And then
so that's an interesting game. I think teams-wise, it favours Wood Elves for sure because the claw is no good on the 2 wolves.
Yeah.
So he's only got one guard, so he's not going to be able to cage very well.
So it is Wood Elves versus Necro
he
here.
can get stripped. Yeah. So I think Drick's favourite for that, but Stringer Bell is very good for sure. I've played him before, and he is very good. Yeah, for sure.
Indeed. All right. So next matchup, the Purple Mountain Majesties versus the Super Sentai Elves. So it's High Elves, and then Purple Mountain Majesties. What are they there?
Nuru qualified from Rebel, I remember.
Nuru.
And oh no, he didn't. He didn't actually. He was fifth in Rebel, and
didn't you take the Rebel ticket?
He won a different qualifier.
Oh yeah, you took the Rebel ticket, right? And then Nuru couldn't qualify from there, but he qualified from another area, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so that's good for him.
Because it all came out complicated once he won that.
Well, good thing you took the Rebel ticket then, because otherwise Nura would have had a couple of tickets there. And who are the Purple Mountain Majesties? Sounds like an American. Yes, Striker OD, his dwarven team.
I'm mystical.
What do you think? The Death Roller Dwarf team taking on the High Elf team. I bet you the High Elves could not be more displeased.
Oh, dude, that's brilliant. So yeah, I mean, the dwarves could win. You know, High Elves are a bit crap.
A bit crap.
They just are. They're not the best race. Nuru's obviously good. I mean, everyone's good, aren't they, to an extent, to qualify for them.
Indeed.
But yeah, but, you know, it could just demolish him. Like, that's the thing. I just don't want to get that. The reason that I said I want to buy the Death Roller team is because I just don't want to get diced, and that he's got the biggest dicing potential of anybody, hasn't he? With strength fucking 7 guy. Oops, sorry, sport.
That's alright.
But he is strength 7. You just can't stop him. You just can't stop him 3 dicing somebody like he thought every single time.
He's gonna throw out 3 die every time, and he's gonna be murdering people with spikes. That's just ouch. That's just not fair. All right, next up, it is Wood Elf team, the Early Birds, taking on the Undead team of Wolfbark, and the Wood Elf team is G'day Nix.
Oh god, I've gone wrong here. All right. Oh man. Oh yes, the Early Birds, G'day Nick. G'day Nick. He's off from the stream. He's gone for leader, block catcher. So he's gone exactly the same team as me, actually. Exactly the same team as I've built.
That means he's gonna win, right? I mean, he took. It's like he peered into your profile and was like, you know what, if Jimmy's going that way, I might as well go that way.
Maybe. And Wolfbark's gone undead, has he? Wolfbark's good.
Well, you've said that you've practiced against him, right? I mean, so.
Yeah, he didn't beat me. We drew 2-2. He had goodies.
So Wolfbark no slouch.
It just seems missing a lot, you know. Attack, wrestle, a block, and a guard. It doesn't scream power to me. He does have 4 Sextus. Brilliant. You can't beat Sextus zombies. He could have maybe gone to 13 players, only had 3. I could see the merits of that, so he could foul in overtime and stuff. Sage has gone crazy and got 14. That's too many.
Right.
But I think 3 duels would have been all right. Well, 4 obviously. Look, he's planning on blodging them all if he stays in the competition. Blodging and lodging them all. If he gets through, he'll do well. But Woodies are going to be a test for sure.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's not, the screen's not frozen. I am actually trying to fix the challenge at the moment. So actually, if Jimmy's looking at the teams, take a look at Jimmy's screen real quick. But I mean, maybe I should fix the challenge afterwards. Let's just, I think that's probably more prudent. So I'll fix the challenge afterwards so that everyone will see the matchups a little easier. So then, let's just take a look at the next one here. So it's what's it? Anoramic 8102 versus the Maraso Expedition. So we gotta find the Anoramic Expedition. This is the tough thing about scrolling through like massive amounts of pages to find people's teams. Too bad it's not in alphabetical order, huh?
Our human team, here's the expedition on page 3 or something.
Page 3?
I believe so. He's got a human team stand.
Yeah.
I think every human team will be built exactly the same base way.
You think so?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, it's the only way to build it. 3 reels, 2 catchers, thrower,
2 catchers,
Olga, 4 blitzers.
Yeah, the 4 blitzers. 3 of them with guard. 1 of them would at least tackle, and of course the block on the ogre. 1 of them's gonna have the mighty blow on there.
Oh, he's actually. It's not. He's not. He's got an extra. But I thought most people would have the apple. So his is actually slightly different. I'm just saying that.
Slightly different. Well, did he forget to get it? Because he can go to 12. No, wait. I thought he can go to 1280, right?
Yeah, no, he's got 13 players instead of 12. Mostly they'll be 12, but he's done 13 instead of the apple.
Oh, okay. Let me get rid of the.
Yeah, I want to be a guard guy or a mighty blow tackle guy or an ogre. So I don't like, a random lineup. It means he can fight if that's his bag. But 3 guard, a block, and a tackle mighty blow.
Yeah, we're still gonna see some different human lineups. I'll tell you that much. And then Ungern also with the human team, right? Anoramic 8102 on, I think, page 6. So it's Ungern's team. And he went a little bit different there. He went with guard catcher and then a guard ogre without the doubles. Where's the doubles? I guess he didn't go with the doubles. He didn't.
The guard is the double there on the catcher.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah.
That is naming the team. With the human team, would have just been 5 guard, guard on the catcher, guard on the ogre, guard on 3 blitzers, and just a tackle blitzer. Because you could always take mighty blow on the tackle blitzer later. I thought after the first round. But yeah, and he's gone for 13 players, dropping a reroll for it. So I'm not a fan of these 13-man teams. 3 rerolls in a match is so good. I'm surprised that 2 people.
I'm really surprised at this actually. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this putting just the guard on the ogre. I would rather kind of see the block on the ogre. I mean, we've seen how great it is on the Invitational Cup, where block on the ogre kind of saved them so many times. And
true, but also it led to Bernie activating it against Shawnee. He activated it. And there was times when he wouldn't have activated it if it didn't have block. But he went for the activation, boneheaded, and it could have cost him.
Could have cost him. It absolutely could have.
So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, wanting to activate him all.
Yeah, because there are times where the big guy, probably better if you just don't activate him whatsoever. All right, so let's take a next look. Dark Baguette de Leon and the Bashius team. So I already know that's Dark Elf team from Parmenion because I've been looking at it for ages, wanting him to accept the ticket. So we have spoken quickly about a Dark Elf team, but now we're going to be looking at it from another perspective, right? I mean, not guided by Andy Davo. I'm trying to look for it here. Dark Elf team on page 4, Parmenion. Team roster. Going with the 1 Witch Elf. And I think if I was creating a Dark Elf team for the tournament, I think I would have done something similar to this right here. Getting the leader on the runner, the wrestle on the Witch Elf, and then the 2 Blotch Blitzers. Maybe the only variance would have been to maybe just go without the leader and then maybe take, I don't know, Nerves of Steel. Not Nerves of Steel, I mean, well, yeah, maybe Nerves of Steel or maybe even Accurate. What do you think, Jimmy? Did I lose him? He fell asleep, I think, guys. Did I lose Jimmy here? Let me just check. Well, I did not lose Jimmy, so I don't know what to say. I guess I can't hear him. Jimmy, wake up, man! Jimmy lost me? How can it be? we're in the channel together.
Aha, I can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Right. Okay. We're back.
You just wanted to just say something behind my back, right?
No, absolutely not.
No, you know what though? That's the thing about you, Jimmy. I know you would. I mean, that's just one of those things you would probably never do. It's just like you would say it to their face. You know, you wouldn't hold anything back. That's what I like about you, Jimmy. That's what I like about you.
Absolutely. I can't find this team.
Parmenian's on the 5th page, the Dark Elf.
All right.
I'm sorry, 4th page. 4th page.
The Dark Elves.
Dark Baguette de Lyon.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes sense that they're dark. But then they've got a white outfit. Dodge, dodge, wrestle. He's only got one witch. Controversial.
Controversial.
I mean,
yeah.
But then I guess he's just got to choose. No, it's not actually. It's not. My initial build was 2 witches, 3 blitzers.
Right.
There's really not a lot of difference between 1 witch and 4 blitzers and 2 witches and 3 blitzers, is there?
Yeah, I believe that if like I said before, if I was going to play a Dark Elf team, and I actually did create a bunch of teams, I probably would have done something similar. I would have went with 1 Witch Elf with the 4 blitzers, 2 of them with Blodge, and then Witch Elf with the Wrestle, and then the runner with either Nerves of Steel, Accurate, or the Leader ability.
Yeah, I would have been tempted to keep the runner naked for game 1, and maybe just 4 dodge blitzers, and then you've got 4 blodge, haven't you? The Witch Elf without skill would be horrible. Yeah. No, you couldn't do that. 3 dodge on the blitzers and a wrestle on the witch. That'd be a pretty good start, actually.
Yeah, that's what I would have done, actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad team.
And then he is playing against, who's he playing against now? He is playing against the Bashius team, which I believe is the human team. And I know it is the human team because I think he was being tongue-in-cheek. I think that's Veliopius.
Yeah, it is a bit of a meme, humans being the Bashius team. It is Veliopius. He's just won Champs Ladder with humans.
And he did just win the PC Champs Ladder, beating Crucifer's killer Chorf team, and then another Lizard team that was killer. I mean, what do you think of this guy?
He's a hero, isn't he? He's an absolute hero.
An absolute human hero.
he took Blood Bowl home.
He took Blood Bowl home. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure. The block on the thrower makes it is good against buddies. 3 guard and a tackle. It's pretty standard on the 4 blitzers, and then he's used his double on the ogre as block, which is again standard. He's gone 12 players, 3+1, which is the only build I expected to see. So
right, except he did.
I reckon
yeah, the thrower does have block. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he'll win. I mean, without putting too much pressure on him.
No pressure, Veliopia, but Jimmy says you're gonna win that one, guys. After winning the PC Cup, he better, right?
Yeah, the Dark Elves are a bit weak game 1, and humans are a bit strong game 1. So there's still agility 3 versus agility 4, so you never know what's going to happen here. Plus, there's lots of luck involved in Blood Bowl anyway.
True that. Franco Bowl Stars, okay, and taking on the Essex Sabres. So Franco Bowl Stars, I don't know, that doesn't hit me right off the bat. And the thing is, though, you would think I would memorize all this stuff because I had to look through, I had to take screenshots, I had to go through people's stuff, I had to like make sure that they were legal. Oh man, like that's why I kind of remember most of these teams, but not all of us. Well, page 3 is the human team of Blades, Essex Sabres.
Yeah, I remember that from when I was looking at. I did a bit of spying on the teams, and I saw that team. It's absolutely fine.
Right.
Block, tackle, mighty blow, and 3 guard. I think this is another standard human team.
Standard human.
This is obvious build to take. I think the most obvious human build is tackle on 1 blitzer and 3 guard on the other blitzers. I think every human team has to have that. And then the other 2, block is an obvious choice on the ogre, but guard on a catcher is an alternate. And then your other skill is either going to be block or guard or mighty blow or whatever. So yeah, absolutely good team, well built team.
I know, Adant. I just hate typing. Sorry if I'm annoying you. Okay, so Breakable Stars, they're the undead team of Silsei. So I don't know anything about Silsei. He just appeared in the World Cup.
No, I could tell you. I could tell you something about him.
Please do.
He's got a record of 18, 12, 15 on Champs Ladder, which is only a 53% win rate.
Oh. Okay.
And he's mostly played undead with an 11, 10, 7 record, which is 57%. So, you know, maybe he hasn't taken it seriously. But yeah, not a great record on Champs Ladder.
Maybe he's like me, where you know you run a lot of tournaments and then you just kind of stick teams in there to, you know, to make do, and then you end up accidentally clicking validate, and you know and then suddenly you have a worse record than you should, right?
No, yeah, it really doesn't mean anything. I mean, especially over such a few amount of games, he could easily be way better than his win rate would suggest.
So at this point, we don't know too much about him except that he doesn't really have a great win rate, and he's playing against a human team that are built to outbash a undead team. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be like the litmus test of whether undead or human is the bashiest team, isn't it?
I love that. So okay, now we're on to the Sage Odd Gravings, the undead team taking on Made of Sand, and I forgot to cover this team, but I wanted to cover that team because it is the only Khemri team. Thank you for that follow, Ricardo Garcia. So the only Khemri team in the tournament. Wow. Let's take a look here. Made of Sand. It's beautiful.
Do you know who Made of Sand is though, don't you? VGP and everybody in my chat as well. Do you know who Made of Sand were?
Wait. Let me get to him.
Made of Sand is the team. It's the team from the quote, because they were playing the Ogres, and after the match that they won, VGP says they may be made of sand, but they were rock hard tonight.
Oh yes, that was it. That was it. Oh man.
And so was my cock.
And so was my cock. Oh man, I forgot I said that. I was just making, just a joke, obviously, but it's just one of those things where I just didn't even think about it, and I just said it, and then I went on with my life. But then suddenly people were like coming to my channel and were like, "Hey, this is rock hard, VG." I was like, "Oh no, what did I say this time?"
Oh, brilliant.
Yes, I know. I give you loads of interesting sound bites. Oh boy.
That is the team. He's got 4 Mighty Blow. He's got a Mighty Blow tackler. This is a team I didn't really want to play because, although obviously, he's even got the sure hands against Strippers.
Yeah.
But this is a rough match for Sage, isn't it? Because Sage is just outstrengthed and out Mighty Blow. And if he rolls well, obviously there's a lot of playing involved. Mm-hmm. But if he rolls well with this Mighty Blow, he's gonna murder anybody, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that is what the thought is from Vincenzi. It's just he wants to go and roll you with these 4 Tomb Guardians of his, and then just win it because he has the superiority in numbers by the end. I mean, that's just simply what it is. Do you think it'll actually work in this World Cup, right? I mean, if you have to depend on the injuries, right? I mean, can he go far? Can he actually do it?
Yeah, literally anybody can.
Literally anyone can win. Anyone. Okay, got it.
Literally anyone can win. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of difference between how good anyone is. If somebody's got a 75% win rate and someone else has got a 65% win rate, it's not gonna, and even if they were their genuine skill levels, it's not going to translate to that big an advantage in the match. So probably the luckiest person's going to win this tournament, to be honest.
The luckiest guy ever.
Yeah, well, not the luckiest guy ever, but just probably the guy who's the luckiest is probably going to win, because there's not that much difference between, like, say, Ducky and somebody else, Notorious Noob.
Right.
There's not a lot of difference between those two guys. And Bernie, even Bernie, like,
even a guy like Bernie. Great
PS4
underhanded
coach.
comment there, buddy.
No. Like, even Bernie, who's got this persecution complex about PS4, he's not that much different than Ducky. So if he gets the look, he's going to win it. It's as simple as that. It really is. If Bernie plays Ducky, it's probably the luckiest coach wins. That's probably how it is.
True that.
So I reckon it's probably going to be the luckiest person wins the tournament, and whether that's through blitzes or draws or whatever, that's probably how it's going to end up.
Indeed. So then the Sage's odd Gravings. What do you think his build? We didn't actually look at his team. I kind of skipped over because we looked at another undead team, but Sage going with 2 mummies with guard, and then the tackle white, and then the sure hands ghoul.
Yeah, and 14 players and only 2 ghouls. I really don't like only 2 ghouls. I think that's very risky, only having 4 agility 3 players, especially as people will have mighty blow tacklers. And in fact, in his first game, Made of Sand has a mighty blow tackler.
Loads of. Hey, he'll be happy that he'll have loads of zombies to throw at him, right? He'll be able to kind of like put him to the grinder, like take my zombies.
Yeah, he's got 14 guys, so he's not scared of the attrition. But then, of course, you might get loads of knockouts, or regen might not work. So, it really is the dice are going to decide this one pretty much. And obviously positioning will matter.
Indeed.
But if the Khemri roll on him, he could roll on the Khemri as well. The skeletons are on the 7, aren't they? So,
very true.
And if he gets lucky, he removes the Tomb Guardian or 2.
All right, and so we have Chubberon's team, which we threw in there against Blood Bowl Quebec crew. Actually, another North American coach that is quite noticeable. I'm sorry, and it is Mr. Lights. So 3rd page, Dwarven team, Blood Bowl Quebec crew. Again, he is one of the highest percentage, I believe, in North America, besides Stringer Bell.
Yeah, he's a very good coach, Mr. Light.
Not only that, but he finished top 16 or top 8 in the 2016 World Cup.
Ah, there you go.
No, actually top 8, yes. Top 16 was Stringer Bell. He was top 8, Mr. Light.
Yeah, and he's got 4 guard. I like just going 4 guard. It's simple. Obviously a little bit weak against Wood Elves if you play them. But yeah, 4 guard, 12 players. Apo, reliable, very good.
Very strong and very good. And of course, he's playing against Chauberon. I don't think we've actually got the skills for Chauberon.
Alright, you just got it in with a race. Is it Skaven?
Oh yes, okay, so we did get that. Okay, so it is a Skaven team, and again, it's going to be one of the only Skaven team. I didn't know if we had the skills on these guys.
Wow, that's dedication. You give the skills.
Yeah, we got. Well, I had to take the screenshots of all the teams, but I believe I did not take screenshots of people who did send one in, so I didn't have it, but Mercy had the screenshot.
Yeah, but that's dedication, isn't it? I would have just put in a Skaven team and not bought anything. The fact that he's bothered to get all the players in the team, that's amazing.
Well, Jimmy, you know what? We did not. We are the admins of the CCL, and we aim to please, right? Storm Vermin with tackle, another one with mighty blow, and then of course the 2 blodge gutter runners. I think again, I said that in the beginning of the cast that I was thinking about taking a Dark Elf team, but I probably would have taken a Skaven team instead, and this would have been likely what I would have chosen, except I would have went with 4 gutter runners instead of extra linemen.
Yeah, I think 13 players is enough. I think 13 and a gutter runner is probably what he should have done. Could have also had a thrower then against the Wood Elves. Having strength 3 shield hands would be.
Oh yeah, he's missing the thrower. Oh no, so this is obviously not what I would have went with. But yeah, okay, so not what I would have done. Ouch.
No. I think he doesn't have any guard. He could have gone mighty blow tackle on the Storm Vermin, but I guess he's thinking of taking claw after game 1, have a mighty blow claw, and then like attack a mighty blow Storm Vermin or something. But yeah, I'm not sure about not having the 4th gutter and the throw. I like the throw just because you might as well have him, mate.
Why go without the 4th gutter runner, right? I just don't understand. Well, anyways. Okay, well, let's take a look here. 2nd page. So PS4 don't bogart the tree. So obviously that's a Wood Elf team versus Sharktopusses. I love these team name guys. Like honestly, when I was writing them down, I was like, Shark the what?
Right. Well, that's Sean. He's got hashtag more tickets with PS4 in 2020. PC actually has 8 times the players of PS4, so they actually got percentage-wise more tickets than they should have done in the champs ladder. So you know, can't really endorse his campaign there, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
He's got what's the 4th skill? He's stacked on the thrower.
It's stacked on the thrower. Yes, leader and dodge there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think if you know your standard NAF style would be tackle, strip, leader, and 2 dodge. Mm-hmm. So I like stacking the dodge on the leaders to make him more survivable. Okay. On the other hand, you can't use him to screen with a dodge player as much because obviously you want to protect him. But yeah, I think that's a fine idea.
All right,
and 2 rerolls and a tree.
You guys with these names, Sharktopusses. Okay, it is the Russian, the Grey Bumblebee.
Oh yes.
And a ruble ticket winner. And we actually had a little trouble with him because the acrylic was messing with our invites, and so we had to tell him, hey look, put it in English and then we can invite you. So he had to go back and recreate his team.
Right.
So the flesh goblin with the block, oh boy, and then white with just the guard, and then the ghoul with the block and the sure hands, and then the wrestle werewolf. That's
I don't like people who organize the team like this.
No, it's messing with our OCD, guys.
He should have all of the positionals together. He's gone really hard against Wood Elves with the block sure hands ghoul, and then a wrestle mighty blow werewolf. That's weird, isn't it?
A werewolf with wrestle and mighty blow. That's kind of a weird combination in itself, right? I mean, even despite the style of the tournament, right? I mean,
yeah.
Why wouldn't he just gone with block, right? I mean,
yeah. I like that he's got 3 rerolls and only 1 wolf. I don't hate that. I don't hate only having 1 wolf. But maybe he's, just because they want skills on them, so by going this way, he doesn't have to take skills on them.
But one werewolf, though, right? I mean, it's not like it's unlike where, in a normal tournament and a progression tournament, you could just buy them later. You can't do that in this format, right? You have to start with your guys and then live with it. So he's going to play this whole tournament with 1 werewolf. What do you think of that?
I don't hate it because it means he gets the 3rd reroll. No one else will have unless they sacrifice ghouls, which you don't want to do either. Like as a rookie, I think a ghoul is better than a werewolf. So it's it means he's got more skills to stick on fights and the flesh golems. So he'll be able to have 2 block guard flesh golems eventually,
right?
And stuff like that.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next game though, the Kobayashi Maru. That's RTSDs, and it sticks out because I think I'm just saying, I'm just pulling it out my ass here, but this may be the most unbeatable team ever. What do you think? The Kobayashi Maru.
I don't know. See, he's at a drop of white to get the 3rd reroll. So that's the problem with Necro. Even with 1,100, we still got to drop things to get the team that they want.
Yeah, 1 white to get the 3 rerolls. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, do I drop a werewolf? Do I drop a white?
Yeah. He's only got a mighty werewolf. I don't know if he's going to go piling on for a claw palm player. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? And yeah, no guard at all. A sure hands carrier. Yeah, interesting. This
is going to be one of those teams where he's going to meet up against a human team with loads of guard, and then suddenly he's getting outbashed.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's take a look. Who's he playing against here? The Flying Frenchman?
Flying Frenchman, Professor. Who hasn't spent 10k? He could have had a cheerleader or a coach or a fan factor, and he hasn't spent it.
Tessa. He could have went with, yeah, I mean, why didn't he go with the fan factor at least, right? I mean,
Yeah, because he hasn't taken his double. He's not taken a double. Which is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he did take the 6 skills. So
yeah.
we did get asked if people could bypass the doubles and just take a general skill, and the answer was yes. But then, now what, right?
I mean, it's fair enough because you do want guard on the ogre and you do want 3 guard and attack. But I think maybe I would have used the double to get guard and attack or block on the ogre rather than. But you know, he gets attack on mighty blow, and I do think guard on the ogre is just better than block on the ogre. So yeah. I can see why he's not taking the double, to be fair, because this Blitzer core will be quite popular, I think.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, we were asked that, and of course, you know, the doubles is better than the normal skill. So it was just one of those things where it's like, well, sure, you can just go ahead and take the regular skill over the double skill if you didn't want it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just
they're not always better. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean,
that's all is fair. I mean, right? I mean, I don't think anyone would scream in your face if if you didn't go with the double skill, right? I mean, is it a little bit less on paper? Probably not. So, and there you go. He gets the extra guard. So I can't fault him there. Tessa. He's also a pretty strong coach from the PC.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, everyone's strong. The win rate on the champs side doesn't mean a whole lot. You know, it really doesn't mean a whole lot. So.
Orc Tales of single 89. And I apologize if I'm stepping on it. I'm just trying to move it along here. It's getting a little bit long here. So the Blitzers. Sure hands on the Blitzer, obviously, then the 2 mighty blows on the Blitzers and the tackle there. So, Orc team. We actually didn't talk about the Orc team. What do you think there?
Orc Tales. Yeah, I don't think Orcs are a great thing. They might eventually get good. But a sure hands Blitzer instead of a thrower, fair enough. I wouldn't want to use one of my 4 skills on it. That's why I would use a thrower in this format. Lots of mighty blow and tackle, but no guard at all. I really don't like this build at all.
I think a little bit too much hate on thrower, where the thrower actually does make sense in this format.
Yeah, I don't like that build.
All right, well, fair enough. There's single. You dropped the ball, my friend.
Let's see Frenchman here. A Frenchman with lizards. He's just gone straight for the block.
Le Champion du Monde.
See here. Yeah. Straight 4 block. He's actually given up a reroll for a skink. I'm not sure that's the right play, but you know, it might be. He's not wrong for doing it. It's just not what I would have done.
Yes, you're right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 block, and again, one of those things where he took the APO. This lizard team took the APO, but dropped the reroll.
Yeah.
Huh. That's wow. So, hey, well, thankfully he's playing against another Orc team that we both kind of didn't like there, and so another a lizard man team that we don't necessarily like with the Orc team that we don't necessarily like. I think I like, if I was a gambling man, I'd take the lizard man team though in this.
Yeah. Lizards absolutely dominate in my experience of low TV. Orcs just don't have anything, and he doesn't have any guns. So yeah. I reckon he's in a bad spot, the old Orc coach there. But of course he's got mighty blow, so if he gets lucky.
Yeah, he's got the mighty blow at least. But
yeah, he can, you know, anyone can just block somebody with mighty blow and cast them. So it's
alright, so guillotine therapy taking on guillotine therapy taking on no timber today, so one of them's a wood elf, I know that, so no timber, and then let's just see here. I'm just going LFBB. Eelm. Okay.
Eelm has necros here. He's got 2 guard whites.
Okay.
A block mighty blow wolf, a block fleshy, and a block ghoul. But he's only got 1 ghoul and only has 2 rerolls. but he's got 13 players. So this is every Necro team has had a completely different build. That's the problem with Necro. Although they're kind of good, there's nothing that screams this is the best build for them at all. You know, one way we've got a skill there in this team. So yeah, I'm really not sold on Necro this tournament.
Not sold on Necro in this tournament. Yeah, I think after looking at a whole bunch of teams like this, I think I have to agree, because earlier I was kind of screaming, hey look, Necros, how come they're not getting picked? But then now that the more and more I look at it, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is the reason why. I mean, you have to almost sacrifice something to get something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then who's playing against
Notorious Noob. Notorious Noob is the Timber guy.
Oh, no Timber. Notorious
He is
Noob.
gone. Yeah, he has gone for the Spartaco build of 2 rerolls, strip tackle, leader, and wrestle on a line.
And no APO. Okay. They
So,
probably
yeah.
got together and was like, hey. And
You know what? I wish I'd gone wrestle on a line now, because that would be good against Wolves, wouldn't it? Should have thought of that.
should have thought of that. Like, what if I draw one of the dwarves there? There's only like, I think 6 dwarves in the tournament, and then a chaos dwarf. But
I should have known I would get the worst possible matchup. So yeah, that's a fine team for Notorious Noob, yeah.
indeed. And then next up, Canadian Red Devils taking on Suck Blue Frog. So there you go. It's Guinness's Lizard team taking on Canadian Red Devils. Take a look at
Canadian Red Devils.
Nerd Frog. So it's an Amazon team. Okay, so we actually didn't talk about an Amazon team either in the beginning.
No.
So let's take a look at here.
He's gone
Blodge out.
no guard at all. Wow.
Wow.
That's risque. I would have gone some guard at least. He's got blood sure hands against strippers, so he's great against whatever. And he's got loads of blood. I mean, having loads of blood is fine. 4 rerolls, 12 players.
He's just banking on not drawing dwarves in the first round, and he didn't.
I would have maybe gone more guard. But you know, they're still good when they got loads of blood. Maybe had a.
Yes, indeed. So Blodge, catcher. I mean, like, if he's playing against a coach who does not have tackle, I mean, this could be an easy win. I mean, I've seen it in a tournament where Blodge just they only went with the Dark Elves, and they went Blodge for everybody, and nobody had tackle, and they just simply won because they just couldn't catch him. They couldn't get the defender down die.
Yeah, but he is up again. He is up against Guinness, who does have a block tackler.
That he does.
So this would normally be verging on unwinnable for Lizardmen, but he does have the block tackle, so he's got a shot. And now, look, anyone's got a shot against zones because you could just roll powers and cast them all.
Cast them all, yeah.
But he's got a better chance than normal having a block tackle for sure.
Indeed, Guinness should be able to take that one. Next up, though, let's take a look here. Hamburg, Carnarvon, Carnivore and Crew, sorry, and WC Red Fire Spirits. Let's take a look at them. Hamburg.
Carnivore and Crew is Junior 84 from DBBL. Who were the qualifier that I won and didn't take my ticket for. He's gone Lizards. Again, he's gone 12 players rather than the Apo. I would have rather had an Apo than 4 block, absolutely standard.
Yeah, pretty much standard there, but then taking the Apo instead of, and going with the Skink.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bit risky, right? I mean, without the Apo.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's just an alternative, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. And the Red Fire Spirits, coached by Ariakin, the Pro Elf team. Look at that. So another team that I was meaning to take a look at, but again, we were kind of itching to start. So.
Yeah, an actual Pro Elf team. Now he hasn't taken. Now what I would have done there is probably stack a Blodge Step Guard in the first game. Mm-hmm. He hasn't. He's put it on an unprotected armor 7, which I'm not sure about where he's put the guard there. I think I would have definitely put it on the Blitzer, and then had another one after the first game. So I would have had 2 Blodge Step.
The Blodge Step Guard tackle. I mean, Blodge Step Guard.
Yeah, Blodge Step Guard after 2 Blodge Step Guard after one game is like the good thing about Pro Elves, and he hasn't got the chance of that. I mean, he can have one Bloodstock guard, leader, dodge, wrestle. The problem is they lack skills to start with. 12 players in an Apple though, so he's very reliable.
Well, before the tournament, right? I believe one of the admins were like, "Hey, I choose Pro Elves because, man, the Bloodstock guard blitzer is kind of what you mentioned. That's just one of those things where it's pretty strong, right? I mean,
yeah, he's much more durable than a Wood Elf team. You know, he's got 2 armor 8, and he's got a reserve, and he's got the Apple, so he's much more durable than a Wood Elf team. So they're not just worse Wood Elves. He's a lot more durable than a Wood Elf team, but has a lot less tools than a Wood Elf team as well.
Yeah. I kind of like this. I like this Pro Elf team. But like you said, I don't like the guard on the catcher. But I mean, I like that he went Pro Elves.
Yeah, and he could roll some dice against Lizards, but I think the lack of dodge is probably going to hurt him. He's got a few.
He's got a couple, but right, the Lizard team might be able to catch up to him and then hunt him down for a change. But yeah, I think in this case here, the Lizard team a little bit better there. Okay, so Requisitos, I'm gonna get it right, guys. Requisitos, R-A-T, and then Ogum World Stars. So
yeah, Ogum World Stars is Palladius, isn't it? The 3.
Yes.
The 3 tickets out with 3 guard, 3 block and a guard. Yeah, and 12 players instead of an Apple. So
there's gonna be the other Skaven team, the Requisitos Rats. Nacho Bill.
He's got a tackler, a blocker, a wrestler, and a Juggernaut Rogue. Yeah, fair enough. Juggernaut Rogue is a fair shout, to be fair. Only 2 rerolls and no Apple, but he's got 13. But I maybe would have done an Apple with 12 players. He could have even gone a reroll and dropped the cheerleader. So he had a few options for what to do, but he's gone with just more men rather than reroll the Apples.
So
Juggernaut Rogue gives him a reliable blitzer. He's got sure hands against the strip and block, wrestle, tackle. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I like this a lot better than the other Skaven team that we did see.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good. He's against Lizards though, isn't he? So he could just get bashed off the park.
Right. It is and then of course Lizardman team. Just a quick look for you guys out there. This Palladius' Lizardman team with a 3 block in the guard here for the SARS for the 4th skill instead of 4 blocks, and did go with the 3 rerolls and no APO and extra skink. So kind of the deal that's going on here with just about all the Lizardman teams. They are not going with their APOs. What is up with that?
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
That's kind of strange. I mean, that's what I like about this format here. You think you got it figured out, and then suddenly people are whipping out 12 skinks, no APO. What? Weird.
Interesting. Ducky versus Neproxy.
Yeah, so Ducky's team against Neproxy. Yeah, in terms of. So we've seen the Wood Up team with Ducky. Let's just skip past him and let's go with Neproxy.
Yeah.
And it is going to be his standing.
That's a pretty tough matchup for Ducky. Historically, Undead are a fair matchup against Wood Elves. You just have a guard white, a tackle white, Lodge Ghoul, and then a guard mummy. So he's got a decent team to fight Wood Elves with, all 4 ghouls.
Right. See, and this is the Undead team I was talking about, right? I mean, you get the 2 mummies, get a white with one of them with tackle, the other one maybe with guard or mighty blow, whatever, and then you get a ghoul with blotch. I think the only thing that's lacking here is the sure hands to help him against the strip ball.
Yeah. But you can't have everything, can you? I guess he could have done. He not had guard on. That's the only way he could have made it better again. Would have been a tackle or a guarder and a block sure hand. So it's nearly as good as it gets against Woody 3.
Nearly.
So
but I think
that will be a test.
I think he will rue the day, right? No sure hands against. But hey, well, yeah. Ducky only has 1 reroll, so if that dive doesn't work.
Exactly, yeah. And I guess Ducky's going to be happy he's got the Apple game, fighting the Mighty Blow and the tackle and stuff. But Neproxy's 73.9 win percentage in Champs Ladder. So, yeah, that's going to be a big test for Ducky.
It's going to be a huge test. And Undead Team is going to be a good test to see if Ducky's going to be living up to whether or not he'll make it past the first round or not.
Yeah. It's pretty crap that, like, one of the 70+% people are going out in the first round for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things, right? And as I've said to everyone, look, it's not about, if you went out early in the first round, it's going to happen, 50%. Yeah, you're going to feel like shit, but it is what it is, right? I mean, it happens. Don't feel bad. You made it. I mean, 64 players or 64 coaches out of how many people that play Blood Bowl, right? Thousands?
A lot, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty damn good, guys. So don't beat yourself up over it. Next up, though, It's a Trap, taking on Just a Luck Xbox. So Bud Tugley is Gnome Slayer, just to have you know.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah,
so it's
right. It's a trap. Dark Owl Sprinter, he was also from DVDL.
What the hell is he?
I like his motto of "Let's get dangerous." He's gonna lead on the run. I don't really like lead on the run. I'd rather have more dodge or block. But he's got block and wrestle. He's protecting both Witch Elves, dodge, and he rolls apple.
I am not.
It's pretty standard. Pretty much everyone's gone for this build actually. The 3 blitzers, 2 Witch Elves, runner, and apple.
I seem to be struggling on getting up. It's a trap here.
Yeah, that's now Pete W, who's widely regarded, as one of the best Dark Elf coaches in the world. He always goes and an assassin, funnily enough, and he doesn't go with the apple. But pretty much, I think, when I made the Dark Elf team, I came up with this build as well. So I think this is a common one, maybe because they're only starting with 4 skills, rather than starting with 6. It encourages you to not take as much dead weight, basically, and the stacking as well. So yeah, interesting team there. I just searched for trap from you've got.
Yeah, I got it. In the end, I finally did trap, and then I looked at the Duran's like, type in trap, dumbass. So there we go. Yeah, Witch Elf would wrestle. I mean, obviously, you should take the Witch Elf would wrestle, and then take the second Witch Elf would block, and of course 3 blitzers. I feel like if you're gonna take the Witch Elf would block, might as well just take the 4th blitzer instead.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But then you've got the stacking as well, haven't you? So
yeah,
you could maybe, you could maybe do different things.
But
so.
Armor 7, right? I mean, yeah, it's kind of give take, right?
Yeah, she's got a frenzy and jump up, but yeah, there's certainly an argument for just taking 4 blitz. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do like that, and of course.
But Tugley has Necro.
Just the luck Xbox.
Yeah.
From Gnome Slayer.
Oh god, this is a dodgy one. No block on either wolf.
He says to hell with the 1 and 9s. I'm taking tackle and I'm taking mighty blow.
Oh man, and only 2 rerolls. Oh god, he's gonna live by the sword, die by the sword here. 3 guard.
He should just rename his team to Live by the Sword, Die by the Sword.
Well, he's got an app name. Just a luck box. If he's a luck box, he's going to do great. If he wins the first couple of games, gets block on his wolves, maybe he's going to go a Pom Wolf, and you use piling on for the first.
Oh yeah.
And then take block on the other one, so he's got a reliable one.
He'll have the dream, right? The piling on mighty blow with the claw.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's going to do. Wow.
That may that's the thing about the Xbox crew, right?
But I think I would favour the other team that I've already forgotten.
Let me see if
Dark Elves. Yeah, Dark Elves.
I
He's got
actually
some
bumped
dark.
my mic, and that's why I'm louder. There we go. Is that? Hopefully that's a little bit better.
Yes, I am whispering because
Well, yeah, and Jimmy is kind of whispering because he's what 2 in the morning at this point.
One in the morning.
Okay, okay. Oh, we've only been doing this for an hour. Okay, good.
Yeah, we're halfway through. Right, Forest Wolves versus World Cup.
Forest Wolves, World Cup Dwarves. Who knew this would take so long?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Wolf Benson's another very good coach with
Yes, indeed.
standard woodies. He's gone again for the wrestle. There's another Spartaco here.
Another Spartaco.
Oh, it's not Spartaco and Frenzy, I believe, didn't he?
But he did with. Oh yeah, he went Frenzy. Yeah, so it's not exactly the same.
But he did go wrestle.
But he did go wrestle. And then World Cup.
This is probably what I should have done. I probably should have gone wrestle on the line or really run, hoping to win the first game and then get a butch guard.
So he's going to be facing up against a Dwarven team. Hey, look at that. He's ready. He's got to wrestle Lino to take the hits.
Yeah, oh man. He got. Well. A dance. 3 guard and a block. Fair enough.
I like this. So, I mean, this is going to be one of those things where the Dwarves, if they can really brutalize the Wood Elf team, then they got it quite easily, right? I mean, with all that tackle, stop those pesky War Dancers.
He's only got 1 runner though, so if he could get 1 diced, armor broken, and feel bad, couldn't he?
Did Wolf Bainson go with a Mighty Blow? Not yet. Okay, strip ball tackle. I mean, those are the 2 natural skills. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with the Wood Elf here, but I mean, obviously Dwarves can easily turn that around. Canards WC, I see BBL, the PS4 Pariah. So yes, we're finally gonna be looking into Canards WC. Who's that? That's actually Danach, the Amazon team.
Ooh.
And, there he goes. There's your guard for the Amazon, as you were kind of talking about before, right? I mean,
yeah. I think I would have maybe gone. I would have maybe gone 3 guard and a tackle, or 3 guard and an extra block.
But instead, went with the Blitzer with Frenzy, right? Wow.
Yeah,
4 team rolls and then 4 fan factors, so he's not losing a lot of kickoff rolls.
No. Yeah, I like the 4 fan factor rather crappy thrower that he won't use and a crappy catcher that he won't use. You know, I like that he's just taken the actual. You know, the fan factor's much more likely. He's got a really good chance of getting +2 fame there. Almost certainly going to get +1 fame, and a really good chance to get 2 fame. Is probably much more likely than having a thrower or a catcher. You know.
Yeah. And then watch Duran's luck, and he'll get a whole bunch of pitch invasions or something.
And then 4 rerolls and a half. So I think that should be enough.
It's good. That it will definitely be a tough Amazon team to beat, right? I mean, no matter which way you kind of look at it.
Absolutely.
And take a look at the Orc team of Duran actually going with the Orcs.
Right.
I like them in the longer format, right? I mean, once they get a few more skills up, but in the beginning here, and especially against this Amazon team with 4 blodgers, right? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for the first round. He does have Mighty Blow. So
Mighty Blow the tackle.
He really look out. He still probably wouldn't want to be playing zones, but the fact that he's got the block tackle Mighty Blow, and he's only got 4 blodgers, the Amazon team. So you know, if he does well, he'll get loads of kills there. A couple of guard. It's a fine start, really. To be fair, 3 rerolls alcohol.
I love that
thrower. VGP's the thrower.
VGP's the thrower, right? So I mean, how can you lose? I think.
Calcium should have been split about really there.
Yeah, Calcium probably should have been. But I think Duran wanted to have all the glory to himself there.
I think he did, yeah. Guard on the Black Hawks is fine. I think, you know, mobile guard's better, really. I would go guard on the Blitzers, but then obviously Strength 4's harder to dislodge, better against the Bash matchup.
Yeah.
But I would rather have gone mobile guard for Elves. But yeah.
Indeed.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. So yeah, if Dern's Mighty Blow Tackler can activate, then he'll be in for a good time. Otherwise, this could be a bad time for him. But
yeah.
I think starting off though, I'm gonna like the Amazon team.
Yeah,
of course,
for sure.
yes, the famed Norse team there against Waste Hill Miners. I don't know. I didn't take a look at that. Oh, we did. It's the Chaos Dwarf team. Okay. Waste Hill Miners, the Chaos Dwarf team.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah, we've already looked at this team.
Yeah, and we actually took a look at both of those teams.
Yeah, we looked at both of them. What's the chance of that happening?
What's the chance of that? We only looked at what, maybe 7 teams or something, and they're matched up against
yes.
Block with the break tackle, sure hands.
I am going to be expecting a gift.
Glorious, thank you very much.
And then
yeah.
this is tough. This is a tough match for the Norse team, right? I mean, they didn't want to match up against someone with armor value 9, and suddenly now they are.
Yeah, and the Mighty Blow as well.
Ouch.
Yeah.
This is tough. At least he's got block to fight against all the blocks for the Chaos Dwarves, right? I mean,
yeah.
But
yeah.
It's one of those things where I kind of say that, okay, once for the Norse team, right? If you're playing Norse, once the other team does get block, suddenly you're armor value 7.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, without
if they're getting a protracted kind of fight, like their armor 7 and the Chorts are armor 9, they're going to likely come out worse. But they do have more strength, kind of, because the Bulls, don't want to be expensive Black Orcs. So, one's got sure hands anyway. So, he might get in a bit. And Mine could just might blow everything, but then he can mighty blow him back with a berserker. So. Probably come down to dice that one, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I can't believe it, but I think the Chaos Dwarf team in the first game might take one over the Norse team if it gets into a long overtime fight, right? I mean.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up though, let's take a look at Master Thalys Spartaco's team against the Pokai Panthers, the human team there. I forget who is piloting the Pokai Panthers. So, of course, we'll just quickly take a look at Spartaco's team, though.
Yeah. So I was completely wrong when I was saying loads of people have this build because he has got Frenzy instead of Tackle and the Dancer. He might be thinking about Juggernaut Frenzy, to help with one turn. Oh God. Oh, I need a drink. Oh.
Yep. But yeah, he's got the Frenzy with the War Dancer, and he does have the Lino with the Wrestle, and then the Strip Ball with the War Dancer. So a pretty solid lineup, and a little bit different than what a lot of people has done, where War Dancer has gotten the Strip Ball, and the other one got the Tackle, but this one here with the Frenzy, and that little difference may actually matter. And he's going against the Pokai Panthers, right? Pokai Panthers of Al Bundy. So against a normal human team with the 3 guard setup with the Tackle Blitzer and then the thrower with the block to kind of offset the War Dancer with the jumping in there with the block, but
yeah, so he's got one of the better matchups against Wood Elves there, hasn't he, with the block sure hands? So,
yeah, he's got the block sure hands. So he's ready for the Wood Elf teams.
Yeah, he's got a guard on. You'll be able to have guard on the cage corners.
Dare we say that Spartaco goes out the first round?
He could well do. Wow. I don't know who Al Bundy is, but he's in the World Cup, so obviously he's good enough to be back. So if he gets a bit of luck, that's the thing. Even if Spartaco is the best coach in this World Cup, which he arguably is, being world number 1 in NAF rankings, for what they're worth. Even if he is the best player, he could lose to anybody. It's there's not a big gulf at all.
As proven in the 2016s, I suppose, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The luckiest team ever. Is it really the luckiest team ever? Taking on the Xbox Fable Legends. So, all right, let's take a look here. The
Wow,
luckiest.
the luckiest team ever is Wood Elves. So if he is the luckiest team ever, he's not going to win ever.
Well, here we go. We got the Frenzy with the Tackle War Dancer, and then the Strip Ball on the other War Dancer, and then just the leader on the thrower. Wow.
Very strange to see stacking on Wood Elves, or on any tier 1 team, really. So yeah, Frenzy Tackle, that's extreme, isn't it? Only one reroll with going with the Apple. Yeah, interesting. Not something I would have done with the Mighty Blow. So I want the Mighty Blow, you know, so I don't know where his double's going. Probably guard, I guess. Might just go get 2 guarders. I like the option of just going tackle. So if I was playing, say, Amazons in round 2,
Right.
I could take a Mighty Blow tackler, and if I was playing someone else, I could take guard. So he's limited his options a bit by stacking.
Yeah, that is true right there, because something to consider for this tournament is, yeah, okay, you can stack a couple of skills there, but you're limited to 2 skills per player, and now in the next round, you got to think about who you're going to be playing next, and as Jimmy is saying there, is you're going to limit yourself to not being able to put a skill on whatever you need to, and then try to win it that way. So, Fable Legends, Chelsea Zola, and yes,
It is a Wood Elf. It is a
Wood
Wood
Elf
Elf
mirror. You know what? We haven't had too many mirrors, right? I mean, like we had what,
Yeah.
15 Wood Elves and what, 13 humans, and I think all of them are not playing against each other. And finally, we have a
Yeah.
Wood Elf mirror.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And, he's gone with a tree as well. He's stacked tackle and strip. So he's got 2 tackle dancers,
Yep.
which might be good for the mirrors. Certainly one. I'd rather have 2 tackle and strip than tackle, strip, and frenzy. So I think he's got the better
better
team
of it.
for what it's worth. 2
Ah.
rerolls. I prefer 2 rerolls to reroll an apple, but it doesn't mean it's better. It's very close between, you know, the tree, the rerolls, and the apple. It's not. You can't say anything better. So yeah, that'll be a really interesting one for sure.
Look at that. So the Wood Elf mirror matchup, and it's going to go to an Xbox Chelsea Zola, who has a slightly better looking team for the matchup with the 2 tackles.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's the one I'd rather have.
Yeah, it's the one you'd rather have, yeah.
Yeah.
Dutch Quality Gaming against Lean and Green WC. Let's take a look at Dutch Quality Gaming here. Is it really Dutch quality, or is it just kind of regular quality? I don't know. Crystal Hunter. Look at that. Human team.
His motto for the team is TeamSpeak. I don't know what that implies. But anyway, he's got a block guard ogre.
Block guard
Mighty Blow.
ogre.
I don't like splitting the tackle and the Mighty Blow. I can see the point you blitz with Mighty Blow if you don't need to blitz with tackle. But I'd rather stack them, because if I'm blitzing with tackle, I want to be blitzing with Mighty Blow. So now you could palm. Yeah, you could palm. I didn't even think of palming. Well done, Steve. Yeah, I didn't even think of palming.
Planning
I didn't
on
even
palming?
cons- I didn't even consider it. Or maybe just more guard. And then you could have Mighty Blow guard and then tackle guard, and then just go even more guard. I wouldn't be against that.
Again, it's one of those things where in the future you just think, I could do whatever I want with my skills. If I'm facing an Amazon team, yeah, piling on Mighty Blow might be worth it. Tackle on there as well. I mean, just one of those things where you can just really be quite diverse in the future.
Yeah, it's very flexible. Yeah, if he's playing now, yeah, as you say, he's got a tackle Mighty Blow now. If he's playing, I don't know, something shit, Pro Elves, he can go piling up. If he's playing Orcs, he goes guard. So yeah, he keeps his options, which is good. Yeah, for sure.
Lean and Green WC, the other Orc team, another Orc team. So I believe there's 4 Orc teams in this tournament, and this one here went with a Troll.
It's Lean. Wow. Yeah, I like the Troll as an anchor, if you like, a defensive anchor. Roadblock.
Did you like what you saw in the Invitational with the Troll and the Goblin coming out from Diam Lord?
Yeah, and I don't mind it. The problem is if you go with a goblin, he went 12 players, didn't he? So I guess he didn't have an app or he didn't have a reroll. He had to draw something to get the goblin. Whereas he's got 3 rerolls and the apple, and only 11 players. Like the thrower for the sure hands against Woodies.
Yes.
A couple of guard and a tackle mighty blow. The problem with going tackle mighty game 1 is just leaves him down more skills, doesn't it? Being a tier 1 choice, I think I would have preferred, tackle and 3 guard. But fair enough.
Fair enough. It's just kind of like what you said earlier, right? I mean, if I'm blitzing with my mighty blow, I kind of want to tackle with it just in case you're fighting against a Amazon or Wood Elf team or something like that.
Yeah, but I'd favour the humans there to be against orcs. Game 1.
Game 1, humans over the orcs. Pomorski Troll against the Aragon Stars. Pomorski Troll. So I actually looked up what that meant, and it's those little trolls with the strange haircut, with the
All right.
a little bit ugly. What do they call it?
So he's got 3 guarders and a block runner. That makes sense, really, doesn't it? Stronger against the leap blitz, and then only 3 guard though might cost him in a bash matchup.
Might cost him there, yeah, but it's going to be one of those concerns here. You got to have, I think, a runner with the blocks to help you against the war dancers, right?
Yeah, that's the thing with 4 skills. You can't cover all your bases. You've got to be weak to something, basically.
Yeah, and that's the thing about taking a tier 1 team early, but once you get those few skills in there, suddenly, hey, 12 on 10, not too bad. Alright, so and then Pomorski Troll is taking on, let's see here, Aragon Stars.
And he is humans. Again, he's gone 13 players instead of the app. Don't really like that. But his skills are absolutely fine. Block on the ogre, 3 guards, might go tackle, absolutely kind of standard. And
we've seen that plenty of times. The only real variation, is the apothecary going without it and going with the extra lineman.
Yeah, I guess maybe they want a foul. I guess that's the reasoning behind going 13.
Yeah. And he is playing against a dwarf team, so what do you think?
I've got to bet on the humans.
Betting on the humans, okay. So pretty much against any orc or dwarf lineup, humans, huh? That's the one you're going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then I seem to have
this next team's called Ramass.
Ramass. We're finally on page 4 though, I'll tell you that much. And I already know that Humensky Ripke is a human team. So it's Ramass. Okay, finally a human mirror of Steve.
Steve with humans. And yeah, he's gone. 3 guard and a tackle. A block on the thrower. Block on the thrower, and then block on the... So absolutely standard, 12 players, 2 catches. Block on the thrower to be a bit safer against the Wood Elf 1 dice, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It is a mirror though, so human. I don't even think that's gonna pull up. How do I type this in? Because
hum.
Just put hum, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Of Kabusta.
Kabusta. He's gone block mighty blow. Only 2 guard.
2 guard. And then a
For
blodge catcher instead of a block draw.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have liked. I prefer Steve's team there, just because it's got more guard. But of course, if Kabusta's blitzer goes off on one mighty blow, you might just murder him. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those kind of 50-50 contests in which does the guard really matter or will the mighty blow kind of matter, right? I mean, we did see in the Invitational 2 tackle mighty blows won the whole thing, right? So.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. If mighty blow fires, it's bad times for the guy who doesn't have mighty blow.
And speaking of which, Unos y Calaveras and Bearded Bazooka, so dwarf versus human matchup, and of course we have seen Arzuwen play with the human team of Unos y Calaveras. So
Bearded Bazooka. Bearded Bazooka, unsurprisingly, team. Only 2 guard and a Mighty Blow. Yeah, Mighty Blow Blitzer. That's an interesting. I would never take a Mighty Blow Blitzer in this format. I want my guards on the blitzers because they're more mobile, with strength movement 5 and agility 3. And I want my Mighty Blow on either the frenzy guy or a tackle guy, so definitely not a blitzer. So I'm really surprised. Maybe he's planning on going panning on Mighty guy, but even then it could have put him in Troll Slayer.
Or maybe he just thought to himself, look, I just don't want to have Mighty Blow. I mean, I just don't want to go without it. I mean, there are some people that just kind of feel naked without Mighty Blow.
Yeah, but it's just weird choice to put on the blitzer, I think. Right. Only 1 runner, so he's only got 1 runner, so he could be a bit exposed if he loses it.
You're right about that, because why not just put it on a Longbeard, right? The tackle.
Yeah. Or the Troll Slayer.
Or the Troll Slayer, who's going to be doing the blitzing, right, with the frenzy. And then, of course, Arzuwen Human's team, he did ask me if he could remake his team, or put in his team, and I said, no, you have to remake it, just to be fair. And
yep, so exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Mighty Blow, 3 guard, and I'll be favouring him again every time Humans over.
Anytime humans are playing against an orc or a dwarven team, you're gonna take the humans, yeah?
Yeah, and it's an absolutely standard build. This is probably the most likely human build. I think people like taking block on the ogre for whatever reason. Tackle Mighty Blow, 3 guard. It's pretty standard.
Okay, and then we have the next matchup, Nobleza y Valor, and taking on, I believe this is. You know what? Before I start believing, let me just check it out. Yes, it is the Baser's team. And the Besa is bringing, yes, a human team. And he is making all us OCD outs with his lineup. Thanks for that. And he does have the ogre with the block and the guard, and then a blodge catcher, and then a guard blitzer over here, and then a tackle and Mighty Blow blitzer.
I can't find him.
I just put J for the Besa.
All right.
Yeah, I just put the J in there.
Let's see, there's humans for the base. Block guard ogre, block catcher, tackle Mighty Blow guard. Yes, only 2 guard total. Yep. Not sure I like that stuff.
Interesting note. The Baser did submit a Bretonnian team at first, and then was like, I think after the invitational, he was like, "Hey, change mine to human."
Yeah.
So, right there.
I hate the ordering on his disgusting behavior. Ordering his team like that.
I know. It just makes me. Ugh. All right, and of course now, yes, another human matchup. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of humans out in the first round because there's been what I think this is the 3rd mirror matchup between humans.
Yeah, lots of human mirrors. Yeah, this is like the Human League. And that is Arzuwen's team again. It's unsurprising how this is probably the most likely human team. It's not what I would make, but it's what I think it would be the most popular. I would have gone for 5 guard total, but I'm not surprised by this at all.
Thank you for that subscription there, Coltron.
It will do well for sure.
So there, I mean, this is pretty much a standard. I still like the tackle Mighty Blow on that blitzer. I mean, this is good stuff here. Between these two, though, the Baser, I mean, he's kind of a big name, right? Against Nobleza.
Andre was 2012 world champ. Was that Blood Bowl?
I'm not sure who Andre is.
Was he on the team that won it? Surely England wins the World Cup every year in Blood Bowl. Or France wins sometimes as well. Right, who's next? Burning Woody's DBBL. It's probably a Wood Elf team from DBBL.
Probably so. But just a quick one on the last one there. I'm gonna probably just pick Andres Noblesse E Valor, because I think the natural 3 guard and the mighty blow tackle, I like that a little bit better than what the basic kind of did with his human team, which was I think 2 guard and put the block and guard over. So, but yes, Burning Woodies.
I prefer that team, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Burning Woodies is Yago DDBL. And yeah, Woodies.
Sidestep catcher.
That will make the 1 turn easier.
I think that's kind of. I was a little bit surprised that a few more people didn't take at least the sidestep with the catcher because of the fact that you are able to easier get that 1 turn touchdown.
Yeah, it's not bad. But then, yeah, reroll Apple, it's Woody's. They're really good. That's it, isn't it?
Got only 1 reroll there, so if he does manage to try to do the 1-turner, how easy it's going to be against Plan Kaplan, Plan Kapkan.
He does have the leader though, doesn't he? Like most teams.
He does have the leader. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry about that. It's starting to get long here. I'm starting to see 64 teams is so difficult. I didn't know it was going to be this difficult, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
No, I was really liking Pupa's team. He's got 3 rerolls. He's got 3 guard. He's got a tackler. He's got block on 1, wolf, mighty blow on the other. This is really good, 12 players, but he hasn't got goals at all. So, that's how he's done it, isn't it?
Yeah, again, one of those things where we've said it many times before. Necro seems to just have to sacrifice something to get kind of what he wants to go with, and there you go, 3 guard and blocking mighty blow and the tackle. I mean, stands up well against a human team, right? I mean,
yeah, he's got half a chance, but most of his players are so crap. The fact that he's lost 2 goals, against the Woodies, he's got 4 players who can touch the ball, and he wants 3 of them to be blitzing and 1 of them to be guarding. So it's like it's really weird team.
Yeah, and again, it's probably one of those things where he prepared for a human, but draw a Wood Elf in the first round, and he's a little bit in trouble here, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. He could be a little bit in trouble, yeah.
Kupak just barely getting in with the 3rd place invitational ticket, where Bernie had already won a ticket, so he's going to be in for one of a hell of a fight in the first game. Alright, so we have an Amazon team, Queenies Queens, and the PS4 B&T Old Timers. Let's see here. Queens. TIS 123. Of course, I know nothing about this coach.
But neither do I.
Get a couple of guard there, and then one of them with Mighty Blow, and the other with the Wrestle with the Line Women.
Yeah, that seems quite reasonable. Seems quite reasonable. A couple of guard, a Mighty Blow, and Wrestle, yeah. And again, he's gone for, which I like, rather than useless positionals.
This is the nice thing about taking an Amazon team, right? I mean, everyone would dodge, and then you could take 4 rerolls and loads of fan factor, right? I mean, that's the one thing that if you do take an Amazon team, you're gonna have the fan factor.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to consider here. Like, I think a lot of people kind of maybe overlooked the Amazon team and just thought, armor value 7, sure you get the blodge, but I mean, you're only starting with 4 skills. It kind of limits the Amazon team, but don't forget all the rest of the stuff you can get. You can get lots of girls in there to replace the ones that are going to get injured, and then the fan factor.
Yeah.
Old timers.
It's High Elves.
High Elves. Oh boy, what an interesting matchup.
He does have a Mighty Blow tackler.
Look at that. Stone Pumper. You madman.
Yeah, Sam T's a level 1 coach, maybe consoles or just plays in leagues. Couple of dodge leader, 3 dodge, the leader and the Mighty Blow tackle seems reasonable. And Fox is one of his players, so I guess he's a console player.
Challenge has not been updated. I was trying to at first, but then everyone was watching and was like, "Hey, your screen's frozen." So either I not do the Twitch, or I don't do the challenge, right? So I'll update it after this cast here, which is coming up pretty soon. So look for it in the next 10 minutes to be absolutely updated.
Yeah. So again, like was it Durun? I think, I don't know. Somebody had Mighty Blow Tackle playing Amazons.
Yes, it was
So so it's a little bit unlucky for, you know, if you're taking Zons, like, please don't give me dwarves, and then you get a Mighty Blow. Right? it's not an auto lose for the Zons at all. Zons could still easily win the game, but at least Mighty Blow Tackle gives you a fighting chance against them.
Right. But it is going to be one of those games in which the High Elf team is going to be in for a tough one if the Mighty Blow Tackle doesn't activate. Alright, so that is what we... Oh, and now, of course, Bernie buffing the controversial coming into the World Cup, taking on It's All About Meme, which is the probably the worst matchup, I think, for Bernie. But I guess if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? I mean,
well, it's not a bad matchup game one. In fact, it's a pretty good matchup game one. Because the Dark Elves are slightly weak game one.
Yes.
You know, he does have 5 dodge, which is good. He is missing a blocking skill on the witch, so he can only really blitz with one of the witches.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's 2 rerolls and an apple though is 11 men, armor 8 and an apple. He's probably going to need 11 men and an apple and armor 8 against Bernie.
and you know what's funny too? I believe Bernie is actually still taking his team there. And let me see if he fielded.
Oh, he's gone for the Arzawain build.
Oh, he went with the Arzawain build. Oh, so he reined it back a little bit. I thought he was going with the 2 tacklers with the Mighty Blow.
No, he would have looked up. But yeah, so he's got Tackle Mighty Blow, which is, and he's got 3 guard, which is a lot of guard. You know, this is the problem with going dark. This looks really hard. Basically, Dark Elves are bad humans until they play a few games, and we can see from the Ogre there on the team that Shawnee qualified for the World Cup.
Hey, Shawnee, he did it! You did it! You finally did it, man!
He's in the World Cup.
He's in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Well, now you can tell him. But yeah, I mean the Dark Elves. I mean, well, to be fair, 4 agility for the Dark Elves, right? Still, I mean they're not a crappy humans. They just don't stand up quite well against the humans in this first game.
Yeah.
So it's actually the other way around. Bernie might actually make Andy feel the burn, hey?
Yeah, I mean, they're not crap, you know, they're still all agility 4 and quite a lot of like 5 dodge is a lot. But if Bernie's dice are hot, you'll cast them out and you'll be able to use the guard and everything. And yeah, he's certainly got a shot.
Indeed. But surprisingly, yeah, I'm going to take Bernie in this first match. Wow. Okay, coming up to the last 2 games here. The greatest Quebec noobs taking on the Rebel Rampage.
Right.
Greatest. Chapsu. So it is a beautiful Wood Elf team. Of course, tackle and the strip ball, but going with 3 catchers and no tree. And then a kick and leader thrower.
Yeah, so he has gone for the option of no tree to get 2 rerolls and the apple. So I'm surprised he's the only one that did it, because I think that's quite I expected that to be more common than it was. Dropping the tree gives them the advantage in elf mirrors, makes them a bit weaker to humans. Tackle strip standard, leaders standard, and he just has gone kick on the throw, which I don't like. See, block or dodge or wrestle or somewhere.
And so he's ready for the blitzes as well. So I mean, just going to be one of those things where he's prepared for a Wood Elf team, or even other Elven teams, but some of these other humans, or maybe even other teams that may have went more tackle and Mighty Blow.
And he's up against Orna, I believe. I don't know if he's the current. I think he's the. Oh no, he was not. Bleeding Hippie's the current Rebel champion. I think he was the champion before Hippie. He started with Palm. Unbelievable.
He's starting with Palm, the Palm Blitzer. What a nightmare for this Wood Elf team coming up, and because he went without the tree. And
Yeah.
so this human team's not gonna just bash him, but he's gonna really bash him.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, if he had the tree just sits on that pom tackler, and then the not tackler, pom blitzer, and the pom blitzer's got to just dodge away from the tree. Now he just gets to pile on every turn. Well, he can't pile on every turn, though, because he has got to protect the ball. He's only got 2 guards to do it, hasn't got block on the thrower. But, you know, he probably would have rather had a tackle mighty blow, really, to hit the catches and the dancer. But he can certainly get lucky, can't he, with pom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. With the palm, I
And
mean,
again,
wow.
Oh, he's dropped the reroll. He's dropped the reroll again. Is that
Oh,
really surprising?
he did. He dropped the reroll.
2 rerolls. That seems.
Wow. For Agility 3 team, that's tight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really tight. I really don't like that. But I guess he's planning on fouling them. You know, maybe he's thought about all of his skills and he's going to take a dirty player on alignment. You know, maybe relatively soon. And that's what their plan is. I don't know why so many of the humans have done 13 right. And I thought they would have all done 3 rerolls that way.
Wow. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I would have thought that they all would have went 3 rerolls. I feel like if you're taking 3 agility humans, you're taking 3 rerolls, but
yeah.
Maybe planning the leader. That's also the case. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. We saved the best till last.
Yeah, save the best for last. Yes, again. Yes. Blood Bowl's coming home. WC Guardians of Asgard. I think we have covered, of course, because it's a bit of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got no chance. I can't believe it.
I wouldn't say that, but it is a tough game. Dwarf team against your Wood Elf team. Just for people who arrived a little bit late on the scene, WC Guardians of Asgard. The Dwarven team against Jimmy's Wood Elf team. Well, you know, at least he didn't take, 3 Mighty Blow and Tacklers or something in the first bit.
Yeah. But he's done the right thing, what I think is the right thing, guard up blitzes. And he's got a block runner, so I can't leap into one dice very easily. And it's just going to be horrible, really. 12 players, so we can foul me a bit. 3 rerolls in case of overtime. Yeah. Not very happy about that match.
Well, in the last World Cup, what is it? You went out in the second round, was it, or the first round?
I didn't qualify for the World.
Oh, you did?
Sorry
about that. Oops.
No, I won something like 14 in a row, you know, to qualifying ladder, and then I got my team killed by what's he called? Burned. Burned the troll, killed my team. Through the game after he killed my team. So, because I was missing all my best players. And then after that, I couldn't qualify because you had to go 20-0. But I nearly did it first try.
Well, did you like this World Cup format a little bit better for qualifying? At least you just had to get into the Champions Cup and then.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best way was still the leagues, wasn't it? And I thought that was a nice way, private leagues. Mm-hmm. What I should have done was I should have looked at the format of the leagues, because I feel like the leagues that had a group stage then playoffs were a lot easier to win than, like, if you think you're a good player,
right?
Or a lot easier, like less luck involved than the Swiss ones. Because the Swiss ones, you just had to win 6 in a row, or like win 5, draw 1, or win 5, lose 1, or whatever. Whereas with a group stage, I believe Sage drew all 3 of his playoff games in one of the league, and then they all went overtime and he won them all. So if that had been Swiss, he would have finished nowhere, you know. So I think that it does favour you if you're good to get in those kind of qualifiers.
Right.
I think I did enter the wrong qualifiers. But
do you think if we do another World Cup, do you think that Focus should just come out and say, hey, look, private leagues, we want this type of format, like say like a group stage with a elimination KO? Do you think that's feasible, or would it just kind of limit how leagues could do it, such as like some leagues had to do a Swiss, right, because of the amount of players that they had?
Yeah, well, now, see, this is the thing. On every league can put their own spin on it, which is kind of nice. So you can choose the qualifier that suits you, or whatever. But then also, there's the argument for making them standardised. I'm easy either way. Of course, without being offensive to anybody in UKBBL, I thought their format was horrific because they just let you pick skills up to a TV. So obviously everybody went with like 20 skills.
Wow. Wow, really? Jeez.
Yeah, you could just get infinite skill withdrawals. Like, I think Sage went 0 rerolls and got a leader and like just a sea of guard and stand firm and mighty blow, and it was just obvious that that format was made for dwarves and Amazons, and no one's going Amazons when dwarves are so strong. So It was dominated by dwarves. And then the Rebel one, they put their own spin on NAF style, which basically made it easier for wood elves, which was, I don't think that was a great idea to make the format even more, favourable for wood elves. But I certainly like that they did that.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the stages and things, and something like what's it called? The other one that I ended up with, the AD English Invitational. He had like 12 rounds of Swiss or some 10 rounds of Swiss with progression. So like, it was good that if you wanted progression, you could enter them. Like, I think Neproxy and someone else didn't even have legendary, did they? So
Neproxy did not have legendary.
Yeah, so it was good that they were able to qualify without even having legendary. Whereas if it had to, if there had been a standardized thing, I think it was good that there was different.
Okay, fair enough.
It was different. There's pros and cons, isn't there? There's pros to having, letting each league put their own stamp on it, and then letting the people choose which one they like the most.
Okay, very true, because there was such a difference in all of the private leagues on how you did it. There was some people that just felt like, hey, they're not kind of fair, maybe we should standardize it so that we can make sure that we're all getting the same type of skilled, quote-unquote skilled players. But in the end, I guess you may be right. Just let the coach choose what kind of suits them the best. And not only that, but it just makes this World Cup a little bit more exciting, right? Anyone could have made it in there, and some people who may have not qualified with the group stage and with the elimination would have done better in the Swiss. They absolutely survived and made it in, so who knows, right?
No, I think it's good. I do think it's good. I think the benefits outweigh the negatives of having different categories for sure, just because, if you hate the idea of NAF style, you can enter one of the progression ones. Mm-hmm. And if you hated the idea of Swiss, you could enter one of the group stage knockout ones. So I thought it was good.
So the teams that weren't represented were obviously the tier 3 teams, and then which are the goblins, halflings, ogres, and there were no vampires, no underworld, no Bretts. There was a Brett until Debaser reneged on it and went humans. And then there are no Nurgle Chaos, obviously. I don't know about you, but I tried to make a mutation team. It just you're so lacking.
Yeah, no, Chaos are a terrible job. I mean, if you're trying to win money, and this is probably the most money that's ever been involved in Blood Bowl, probably more than the first one, I imagine. I don't know.
Actually, it's the same, except that the payout is less for. So I believe the first World Cup was $4,500 for first place, and it was all in euros. But this is $10,000 US dollars, so it's less.
So the numbers that we get.
Yes, and it's only $3,000 for first place, and then $1,500 for second place, and then so on and so forth. I do believe that, unlike the other one, it was a little bit more money for the top 16 players to make it in. I think the top 16 only got, 100, but don't quote me on this. I don't know, but 250 this time is a little bit more, I believe.
So it's the first or second amount of money that's ever been on the. So there's a guy on Fumble, one of the best coaches on Fumble called Stone Troll. He always uses chaos in tournaments, you know, and he goes like tentacles on them and all sorts, and he does all sorts of crazy stuff. And I'm sure if he was playing for 10 grand, he would instantly dismiss chaos.
Chaos? Who are they?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, you know what? I don't want to keep you up any longer. I know it's Sunday night for you and for all these other people. So thank you for joining me. Wow, so much. Giving me your insight and your knowledge. So I really appreciate you coming out this late. So for all of my fans and all yours, you know, thank you.
Yeah, cheers to you too, buddy. See you later. And stay fantastic.
Rock hard, baby. Take care, guys. We're signing off. Hopefully you guys hit a follow on Jimmy's channel if you haven't, and also yes, my channel as well if you guys haven't already. If you like what you see here, more Blood Bowl action to come, World Cup action to come here on my channel, and then of course semifinals, grand finals gonna be hosted live, and I will be one of the casters. I'm not exactly sure who my co-caster is gonna be if the Sage isn't around, but we'll see. Okay, guys. So until then, take care, and I'll see you there.
And stay fantastic.